Terry.
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it.
Woo!
Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
All right, look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. With Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur extraordinaire. And the mechanical mangler at the controls, it's Flounder. And I don't know if Lord Bryant's back there, but if he is, welcome aboard for Tuesday.
Yes, he is.
Hello, Lord Bryant. How you doing? It keeps it dark in here. It's kind of a special thing, but that's all. It's all good. You don't want me to know what's going on in there. Sometimes girls come in there and drop off stuff for the business. You know.
I'll turn my mic on. Don't worry about that.
Oh, no, you can do it yourself.
I'm not too big of a star.
No, really. It's
to
not.
turn my own mic.
Well, it's not like, we got
Funny, I actually turned your Pete mic on, the one from Blue Ridge.
Really?
Oh, my. Oh, there you go.
Wait a minute. Was anybody talking?
No.
A couple of mountain women roaming around in there, I think. Left over from whatever, God knows. Anyway, 304. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, and Lord Brian, how's it going? 404-741-1230. 741-1230. This is stupid last thing over there. So here we go. Braves out of town, and they're on the West Coast, I believe, right?
Well, Sacramento.
Well, that's not really like America.
It's Reggie Theus, who was born and raised in L.A., played for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I remember.
And he was traded to the Sacramento Kings. And he was asked afterwards, well, what do you think about going back to California? And he looked at him and goes, let's face it, Sacramento is not California.
It's not really California, no. Rush Limbaugh used to mention Sacramento, and what was he? Where
he
was
kind of started there a little bit, didn't he?
Yeah, and what was the other? Fresno, you talk a lot about?
Merced, Fresno, all those places drive through fast.
Well, anyway, Tuesday, Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, and by the way, I'm way out of touch with newsy stuff anymore. It's clear I'm no longer a news guy. I'm a talk show host. My whole career began as a straight newsman. I mean, kind of guy, straight newsman. Serious, no goofing around. I mean, really seriously. And thank you. And very fastidious. But clearly, okay. Donald Trump had a meeting today, like always. Almost every day, he basically opens up his office to the world and lets the press in. And he had a cabinet meeting, and he opened up the. I mean, again, just honestly, if you have no idea what you're witnessing here with the way he's okay. I mean, it's just never been done before. So all of us want to know when he starts answering questions from the press, and then and finally, someone asks a question about the Jeffrey Epstein file. And to me, that was the one thing that we all wanted to know. After yesterday, we talked all day long about how, wait a minute, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence and the people and the videos and all this stuff
arrests.
like that? Yeah, and, perp walks and handcuffs and stuff. Anyway, so clearly, I no longer have a journalistic sense of what the major stories are. I want to know what more things that attract us as an observer to the world affairs. I don't know. Something happened.
They're trying to move on. That's why they didn't want to talk about it.
We don't want to move on. We want to know what the freaking thing is about Jeffrey Epstein and who's involved and who is doing what with little girls, and let's out them and be done with it. Anyway, so we're in kind of a quandary, but you're going to hear a lot. We'll have sound bites about this, and I'd love to get your reaction to it. I'm really serious about this because I was very upset with the way Donald Trump answered the question he was asked. Or that Pam Bondi was asked, and Trump broke in basically, and I was very upset with the way he answered it. I didn't like it. I thought it was cold, and I didn't like it, and I thought it was wrong and cold and unfair, and that people had. I mean, I couldn't believe it. The way he did it. And I was very happy with Pam Bondi, and I think she did exactly the right thing. It was about time she stepped up. I was demanding her to step forward finally, and she did. But we still have questions, so we'll get to all that stuff. Okay, so that's all going on for us. Also, we got like a billion topics and stuff in the news today. We have
you ever thought about writing down topics you're going to talk about?
I do. I can't find my sheet.
So you don't have to run through.
No, I know. I've got it all here. In fact,
is that it there?
No, the live entertainment coming up for you.
Oh, yeah, live entertainment.
But that's something you really enjoy.
Oh, boy.
And
call your neighbors, call your friends.
Well, and a couple. We'll talk about the floods, but I will say this too. I don't want to see any more pictures of those little girls. Yeah. And now they're showing video of those little girls dancing around in their little cabin, and they're all giggling and squealing and having a good time doing dancing and doing things like this, and they're all dead. And they released a video of them. It was right before the floods hit. And now they're all dead.
And now the conspiracy theorists are out.
Well, I'm on the one point I want to make about this, and then we'll get to the what Pete just found the story, which I think is again
actually, fellow producer Belinda found that story.
Oh, no kidding, Belinda and her friend Larry or
Lonnie,
Lonnie,
Miss Larry,
Lonnie or Lucy. I think
that's
it was
what
Lucy.
She goes for. That's what she wants.
Okay, shut up.
I told him over ice cream yesterday what you had done.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Although I do have a story, but I can only tell her, nobody else. Anyway, now I have no idea what I was just saying. No, I just forgot it again.
The floods.
Oh, the floods.
The seeding. The cloud seeding.
No, before I get to that, tell me if I'm wrong and why I could be oversensitive because I'm the father of daughters and granddaughters, stuff like that. But I'm actually upset all morning long for quite a while this morning when I turn on my phone or I look doing news searches and stuff like that. There were pictures of the little girls. And I got to thinking to myself, okay, this happened what? Saturday? Was it Saturday night? Was this Tuesday? It was over the weekend. Anyway, several days ago. And see, I'm horrible, and they're still trying to rescue bodies, stuff like that. What is the point, several days later, of posting the pictures of the little girls who are dead? I can see it when it, the day after or when it's happening and they're releasing the family. I mean, I can see it. You have to see the pictures to make it.
Well, they're just now getting some of them.
Well, okay.
The family releasing them.
I'm just admitting to you something I feel very personal about that I may totally be overreacting to this. I'm revealing to you how I feel about this. I don't want to see any more pictures of those little girls. I've got the heartache in me forever. And I can, I can imagine the flooding and the screaming, the holding hands, I see it all. It's all in me. There's no point for any publication from yesterday on to be showing more pictures of those little girls and their happy times who are now dead, other than to get an emotional reaction only for the purpose of maybe trying to get more subscriptions or people to say, it's like getting
more clicks.
To get more clicks. And it's like when you're going through the freaking, it used to be when you're going through the grocery line at the checkout counter, they have all the greasy, sleazy New York tabloid magazines stuff to get you on, before you get going, to get you hooked on all this crap before you leave. And it just makes me feel, when I see all these pictures of these beautiful little girls who are now dead, and it makes me feel like that. They're just abusing the heartache that we all feel about what the hell those little girls must have been going through when they died. And it offends me. So anyway, I could be wrong. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying it. So, it's a talk show, and that was.
Well, we don't want to forget them too soon.
No, I'm with you. I totally agree, and it'll be with me and everything else. I'm just saying, if I see any more of those freaking pictures, I'm upset by it. Right. I'm just saying.
So you don't think about that. It's true, the cloud seeding.
Here's the other. Well, let's talk about it right now. In fact, this is, and I did not know this. Pete was looking at this, and I did not know this, and I find it hard to believe, and someone should be put up behind a post and shot after being found guilty of mass murder. Mm-hmm. If this is true, then somebody's guilty of mass murder. What we're talking about is the flash floods. It was July 4th. Flash floods, which was Friday. So it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's been, that many days. Flash floods in Texas. Now there are people saying that the excessive rainfall and flash flooding was done on purpose. That somebody is manipulating the weather and using cloud seeding operations to make it rain as an experiment to test on how well it works. The Texas legislature implemented the cloud seeding program in West Texas in 1955. Multiple counties are involved in projects spanning millions of acres, all regulated by the state. Now, some authority says Kerr County has a history of monstrous, devastating flash floods. If your home you lived in entire life or a vacation cottage, understanding your flood risk being connected to emergency warnings is essential. Cloud seeding began in response to a drought in the 1950s, licensed by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. They span millions of acres in the northwest, west, and southern portions of Texas. Projects use ground-based generators to disperse agents like silver iodide. Others use aircraft to release seeding materials like dry ice into the clouds. Cloud seeding is used to facilitate creating more rain, lessen fog, suppress hail, or steer a potentially heavy rainstorm away from a populated area. Well, if someone was seeding, why would they do it in the summertime when rainstorms are hot weather
droughts
in Texas?
too.
But in the South in the summertime there are rainstorms.
Well, Texas is dry most of the time.
Well, okay, well then.
But
if
no one's proven this, but it was all over the internet yesterday.
Well, this is unbelievable. I mean, how are we supposed to?
How do we
deal
know
with these things?
We don't know.
Oh, man, I'm already late on the break. We haven't even started the show yet. Anyway, I promise we got a lot of stuff going on here. Oh, and coming up, shall we break the tension already with something special coming up?
Already? Okay.
Well, you want to do 3:30? We'll do 3:30.
3:30.
Let's do 3:30. We'll get started, and we'll get the newsy stuff coming up here.
And
also, I have some questions. Has anybody ever done those measure your pants on your phone companies?
I tried it, and I didn't buy it because I didn't trust it.
Well, and again, I keep seeing this thing, and because of my whole weight, anyway, I got a whole thing.
And the girl's so hot, you just want to do it.
Well, I just want to be with her. All right, 3-4. No idea. 3:14. Here we go. Look out.
When conflicts escalate around the world, don't let the mainstream media scare you into believing their narrative. Get it right with Atlanta's only conservative voice. And trust the Morning Extra, Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, The Kimmer Show, and our entire lineup to give it to you straight. Don't buy the fear. Just keep it here. Extra 106.3 FM and the all-new Extra app.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
Moldy, mildew, rotting wood, peeling paint. Is your house suffering from the uglies? Well, then it's way past time to call the siding pros of Peach State Windows. Call now and get 1,000 square feet of tough, durable, hardy plank siding installed for only $49.95. 0% financing for 12 months and no money down with your good credit. 1,000 square feet of tough, durable, hardy plank siding installed for only $49.95. Call today and make the uglies go away. 770-485-8011. That's 770-485-8011.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Okay, you're driving along. Suddenly you hear that horrible sound of metal and crunching. It's an accident. Even if it's a little minor fender bender, man, that could be a nightmare. First, obviously, take care of yourself. But before you make a deal with an insurance company or anybody else, call David Van Sant with Van Sant Law. You know why? Because he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows how to get the right settlement and right away. Van Sant Law. Don't forget, if you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Protecting your interests. Insurance is great, but it's complicated. 855-GA-INJURY or vansantlaw.com. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Hey, Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. I have a question for you. Am I the only person pissed off with the mainstream fake news, liberal judges,
and whiny liberal politicians
who don't realize why Donald Trump is president, and fake safes? And you may wonder, why fake safes? Well, a fake safe is like Joe Biden, cheap and ineffective. A real safe from Atlanta Safe House is like Donald Trump, tough, effective, and provides peace of mind when you need it the most. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast and see what a real safe looks like. So go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Kevin McAlpin here, alongside Evan Ward, host of North Georgia's Retirement Game Plan, heard right here on XTRA 106.3. And Evan, one of the most common questions financial advisors get is, can I retire now? Obviously, this can apply to folks who want to retire early or those who are 65 or older just wanting to know if they've done enough saving over the years. So when a client calls, when they stop by your office, how can you help them determine if they are able to finally retire?
That is the number one question that we get the first time somebody comes in our office. How do I even know whether I've got enough to get where I need to be? And I think my industry does an awful job of giving you at least the right facts to be able to make that decision. How do I know? Now, the actual creation of an income plan that can take the stresses and the risks and reduce any kind of concerns that you have in retirement, that can get pretty complex. That's why you have a person like me on your team. But the actual knowing whether you have enough to be able to retire is a pretty simple formula that we'd love to share and be able to show clients, hey, you're in a good spot, or no, you're not in a good spot, but if we do these things, we can get back on track and retire ahead of schedule or on your schedule that you want. And that's what we focus on. That's our primary concern when somebody walks in our office.
If you are wondering if you can retire, well, that's why you got to pick up the phone and call Evan and the team at Atlas Retirement today. They're going to give you a complimentary review of your savings and investments. That number is 678-736-7799. 678-736-7799. Or get more details anytime online. It's atlasretirement.net. That's atlasretirement.net. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
This July, MLB All-Star Week is taking over Atlanta. Head to Capital One All-Star Village for the ultimate baseball experience. Test your baseball skills at Play Ball Park. Get immersed in MLB culture and interactive games. Stop to meet legends and grab ballpark bites. Plus, special perks for Capital One card holders. Catch the All-Star vibe at Capital One All-Star Village, July 12th to the 15th at Cobb Galleria. Get tickets at allstargame.com. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Speaking of baseball, man, I got some signs going up here. We got the All-Star game a week from today. Pardon me.
You can never know what it's like.
There you go.
Your blood like winter freezes just like ice.
Sir Elton, yeah.
The light that shines from you. You wind up like the wreck you hide behind that.
2 years ago on this very day, Elton John told his millions of fans they would remain in his heart, head, and soul when he concluded his marathon farewell tour at Sweden's Tele Arena in Stockholm. Elton John closed the show with one of his biggest hits, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. His farewell Yellow Brick Road tour began in North America in 2018, and this was his second night performing in Stockholm in 2023. A hell of a tour there, that thing there. And our birthday list includes Kevin Bacon. Was it 6 degrees or 7 degrees of Kevin? Which was it? 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. And Kevin Bacon is 67. And I remember back in the old days at our old radio station where Wayne No Offense kind of like what Flounder does here. And Wayne No Offense was the producer, and he would answer the calls that would come in. This was back when the calls would come in one after another. There were nothing but calls for 3 hours. And back in that day, I made a joke. It was Kevin Bacon's birthday, and I said, I'm something of a student of Kevin Bacon, so I can guarantee you can name me somebody, a famous person, and I can link him to Kevin Bacon in less than 6 steps.
Anthony Hopkins.
Well, I'm just saying, okay, the movie is, and I would say he was in an actor with so-and-so and so-and-so. But of course, I wouldn't know squat. But a guy would call in and say, tell him, ask him Anthony Hopkins. And Wayne says, okay, now be ready. We'll get you a call in a second. And then he's on another call now. And then Wayne would look up the link and tell me. And so I would never get it wrong. And it would have boy, that Peterson's unbelievable. Because
that was at the beginning of the internet.
That's right. Yeah. They were saying nobody knew I was. We were looking it up. It's like 30 freaking years ago. That's right. It was unbelievable.
All right.
But you can't do that now.
All right. So, Anthony Hopkins, who was in, and the Oscar goes to with Tom Hanks, who was in Apollo 13 with Kevin Bacon.
With Kevin Bacon.
Very good.
See,
Very
that's
good, sir.
And that's what.
And how did you know that?
The internet.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
The magic.
This was back before.
If you follow him or his wife on Instagram, they're just screaming liberals.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Kara Sedgwick is her name.
She's
but you know what?
He's a good actor, but
again,
the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special from 2 or 3 years ago was hysterical.
Well, I've liked his movies.
That latest thing is horrible on Amazon, where he's a demon hunter, and they filmed it here.
About that. Yeah.
It's bad. Speaking of here in the mountains,
yes.
Since you called it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mountain women.
Larry Lucy Goosey says, tell Timmer I said hi.
Oh, very funny.
But there are no more Tootsie Pops.
Oh, my God. She's cut me off.
Hey, tell everybody
that was happening.
You got a check today. Tell them about your check.
Oh, well, we finally.
Because I stopped by the bank today.
You know you can do it. You can deposit it right on your phone.
No, I'm not doing that.
He demands a physical check.
Somebody will take it.
I had to stop and talk to a human being in a bank.
Sorry, it's my fault. It's my fault.
But so you got your check.
Yeah, and I looked at it. And we shut down the podcast. So officially, it's all
months
gone.
ago.
Yeah, I mean it's been dead for years. But I mean, we still had some money in there from people sending us to $3 a month or whatever, and we had a couple of $100. Again, we made almost $12,000 in 2 years. Not a piece. Not a piece.
Profit. Clear profit. We walked out the door with it.
And not telling anybody either. Anyway, so Pete had to go. I couldn't find my checkbook for the thing. So Pete had to go. He doesn't have a checkbook. See, talk about modern times. I can't find the checkbook, so I'm screwed. And he doesn't even have a checkbook. No. Pete Davis does not have a checkbook. Everything is done by an app or something. It's unfreaking believable. I just can't believe it.
But anyway,
he doesn't. Anyway, so he had to go to a bank and talk to people. Anyway, so the check, and so in the line where it says what's this for. It says for Tootsie Roll Pops.
and Flounders. The lady was laughing when she just won't put anything in the memo. I said, yes, ma'am, I do. And Flounders was?
Let's see. I'm looking at it right now. I don't have anything.
Keep the Mrs. Happy.
Yeah, it says
probably.
Right there in the memo.
The little teeny print in the memo line down
on the
bottom left of the check. There's a line there.
Explain to him what a check looks like.
Services rendered?
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to do that on my former wife, send money to my former, the one who loved me wife from my daughter.
Services rendered.
And I put things like, lap dances or,
I know. Every time I wrote a check to anybody I knew.
Yeah, exactly. Extra ammo, spy services.
The chicken's parents are going to sue.
Surveillance tapes,
lawyers, guns, and money.
Kevin Bacon in Footloose. Captain Ross and A Few Good Men, the inspiration for the Oracle of Bacon. Anyway, Kevin Bacon's 67. I'm not sure we ever actually got to it. And I was going to do his thing. Let's get back into the news thing. Okay, a couple things. Again, tell me if I'm wrong, really. 404-741-1230. Donald Trump opened up to the world again. His cabinet meeting today, like he's been done, changing the way you run a government. It's just unbelievable. And so they're going to the cabinet meeting, and a reporter asked Pam Bondi a question about that report that just came out concerning Jeffrey Epstein and how suddenly there is no so-called list or the information was hidden, there's no tapes or whatever. And so, and to tell me if I'm wrong about this, Donald Trump jumped in and kind of interrupted the question, and I thought that his answer was inappropriate. What do you think? Let's play Donald Trump, sir, if you will.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
A desecration? It was the number one topic on everybody's freaking mind. What happened to the evidence? What are you talking about? There's no evidence. It's a freaking cover-up of the highest possible involving world leaders. Oh, my God. And he wants to talk about, I'm going to make a visit to the place where people are dead for 5 days now later on. We're going to talk about the tariffs. Yeah, that's way more important to talk about your tariff plan, which hasn't even happened yet. But you have your new deadline for August 1st. Oh, there's a big top news story there, Mr. President. I mean, my God, man.
What's
trying to shame the reporter for asking a very...
They need to be shamed.
No, please.
They're reporters.
You just came here to argue.
You just came here for arguing. No,
I didn't. I mean, it's incredible. And now, on the other hand, again, this is like a three-part thing.
Are you off the Trump train?
No, I'm still in the Trump train, but I think, and again, the guys before us, Rick and Barry, I get that wrong every time. We're saying, Trump has just been, apart from it. He's just not part of this, so he's not thinking about it. So he was offended because he wants to talk about all the good stuff, which I understand that. However, the whole world is wondering what the hell happened to the freaking evidence and the cover-up and the minute missing and the tape and stuff like that. Now, Pam Bondi, flounder, if you will, Pam Bondi addressed the question head-on mostly, but not all. Here we go. Pam Bondi.
First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file, along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Okay, I accept that. However,
no, she started out great, and it quickly went sideways. Of a sudden.
And again, last night I saw this on Jesse Waters. He had the videotape. I saw the interview with Virginia Joffrey, the woman who killed herself. She was that very pretty little girl, that 17-year-old girl with that hideous, disgusting Prince Andrew with his arm around her, and from the picture that was very famous. And she testified, their depositions, everything else. I saw her telling reporters last night before she killed herself some time ago, and she said when she was in one of the control rooms, one of the main offices in Jeffrey Epstein's place, and she said there were TV monitors on the walls everywhere, and the TV monitors had labels underneath them saying bedroom, bedroom, bathroom, bedroom, bathroom, bedroom, bathroom, all over the place. There were cameras everywhere, spying on bedrooms and bathrooms. And are you telling me that Pam Bondi said the only video ever recovered was on child porn? I don't know what that means. Does that mean adults with kids is child porn? Therefore, who are the adults?
That's right.
We still don't have the answer of who was there as an adult having sex with children.
She just opened herself up. She says there's child porn videos. Okay, who were the adults?
Right.
And by the way, Virginia Jeffrey, she didn't kill herself.
Well,
come on. Everybody that anything to say is now dead because they killed themselves?
I'll tell you, and again, the only person who's ever been charged is Ghislaine Maxwell, and she's silent. She hasn't said a word.
Who did she traffic to?
Right. If there's no evidence of any crimes happening, then why is she in jail? And again, I mean, there's just a million other questions about this
They think
stuff.
we're stupid.
Yeah.
And obviously, this is something so heinous, so earth-shattering that they get in there and someone says, come on. I know you've run your mouth, but here, look at this. And it's like, oh, my God.
Well, in fact, I have a couple
It's
of
aliens.
possibilities.
I'm telling you, it's aliens.
I've seen some of the. Well, I'll update you here in a second. But also, who's involved in the cover-up? Not that many people could have gotten to Jeffrey Epstein's safe and documents in his house. It's a limited number of people who could have been in there to take the evidence that's now missing.
I think they destroyed the evidence
I think it's
years
long gone.
ago.
Yeah, I think it's long gone. But someone had to it, and someone had to know who it is. There's still an answer. Someone knows the answers.
So just tell us they destroyed the evidence.
There's not just one person who then, disappeared who knows all this about. There was a team of people who did all that.
It's like when they said there's WMDs. Well, there were chemical weapons, but there weren't the nuclear stuff that they claimed, which is why we went in there.
Right.
He had chemical. He used it to kill 4,000 Kurds. We know that. And that went to Syria.
Yeah.
But where's the nuke stuff?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They told us this is there, and then we go looking for it. Oh, no, I wasn't there.
Yeah, I have more answers now.
You have more answers now. We'll tell them.
Well, I'm going to give you some in a minute. But first, it's 3:33.
No questions.
3:33:03. Oh, my gosh.
We got that late?
So we'll do it when we get back.
When we get back?
Well, something entertaining. With Kim Repeat, Flounder, and we got to involve Lord Brian in these, too. We forgot.
XTRA 106.3 has the biggest lineup of conservative voices all week, and we're loaded with live and local programming every weekend. The All Four Seasons Home Show, Back Your Blue, Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and NASCAR on Sundays. See the full weekend lineup at XTRA1063.com and stream it free on the XTRA app.
Still planting season, and that's why you get the Stovall and Company wholesale landscaper supply company. Paul and the boys been doing this 75 years, a family business, 11 locations, latest one in Canton. You know this, dear. They have the plants and the flowers and the trees and the shrubs and the bushes and the grass and the sod and the seeds, irrigation systems and sprinkler systems. And by the way, being a family-owned business, if you need it now, it's probably already on the way. I'm telling you, and they go out of their way to make sure you're happy. If you need something they don't have, they'll tell you where to get it from somebody else. You'll love this company. StovallInc.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers. X-Mark. When it comes to cutting grass, nothing cuts like an X-Mark from Howard Brothers. Built for speed, engineered for precision, and trusted by ones who mow for a living, X-Mark is the go-to for lawn work. Whether you got an acre or a whole fleet, X-Mark Mowers delivers flawless cuts and reliability that you need every time. Stop dreaming about a perfect lawn. Make it happen with X-Mark from Howard Brothers, where the pros go and homeowners level up.
Advance and protect. What is that in retirement planning? Well, Coach Pete is here to explain advance and protect.
What's the advance and protect strategy? Well, it's a way for you to share and participate in the gains of the market. Not all the gains, by the way. You have to trade. The trade-off is you're not going to get all the gains, but here's what you're trading it off for. You're not getting any of the losses. Therefore, you really are advancing and protecting. Or if the market's down for 3 or 4 years, you're protecting and protecting and protecting. And when it decides to go back up, you're advancing. So if you're protected when down markets and going up in up markets, you really can't lose. And then you turn that lump sum you have into a lifetime income you can never outlive, and now you're in control of your life all the way through.
A comprehensive review with Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler, can show you how to get in control of your retirement. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. Craig Chandler, Chandler Wealth Management, 800-419-6164.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Are home repairs piling up? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Relax. We've got you covered. From drywall dings and leaky faucets to deck repairs and trim replacement, we're your one-stop shop for everything for your home needs. No more juggling multiple contractors. Just call us at the Trusted Toolbox and we'll handle it. Your home deserves the best, and we don't want you breaking your back trying. Call the Trusted Toolbox today at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. The Trusted Toolbox, your one-stop shop for home repairs repairs, and more.
Atlanta Peach Movers. There's no tree in our name. Atlanta Peach Movers has over 30 years of industry experience. We service both local and long-distance, residential and commercial moves. Our promise is superior service and 100% satisfaction, guaranteed. It is no wonder why realtors are our number one source for referrals. They know they are getting the best anytime they call. Moving soon? Call Atlanta Peach Movers or book online at atlantapeachmovers.com. Proud partners of the Atlanta Realtors Association and official mover of the Atlanta Braves.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us, too, in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Sports stars and entertainment stars collide at MLB All-Star Saturday with 2 star-studded baseball events. First, the All-Star Futures Game, where baseball's rising stars show off their skills on the game's biggest stage. Then it's All-Star Celebrity Softball, where MLB legends and pop culture icons bring the fun. Catch all the stars at MLB All-Star Saturday, July 12th at Truist Park. Tickets available now at allstargame.com. MLB trademarks used with permission.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays, anywhere on the XTRA 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the XTRA 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
That little purple Corvette or whatever the hell is it got going on?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Little red Corvette.
That's a purple beret or strawberry Corvette.
Raspberry beret.
Something.
The man's dead, for God's sake. Show some respect.
So what does he care? I keep thinking of Monica Lewinsky. I can't help it. We're talking about a
Prince, Monica Lewinsky.
A beret, the beret. Anyway, 2007, Prince got kicked off the stage by the police during his First Avenue nightclub performance, a late-night gig at his hometown of Minneapolis in 2007. The club was only allowed to stay open until 3 in the morning, but Prince didn't get on stage till 1:15. He had already played 2 concerts in Minneapolis before his late-night club show. His first one was at a department store promoting his new cologne. 2007, Prince in Minneapolis. There you go. Phone calls take priority. Kimmer P. Flounder and Lord Bryan's in the back. Charlie, you're on the radio, man. What do you think? Hey, Charlie, what's happening, sir?
Well, I called yesterday about Epstein and I enjoyed listening to you guys after I was done. You guys went ballistic, and about an hour and a half later, the internet exploded. I mean, literally exploded.
Yeah.
They wanted Bondi's resignation, Patel's resignation.
Glenn Beck said she'd be fired today. Glenn Beck said fire her today or she should quit today. That's how strong he was.
Tucker Carlson said the same thing, get rid of her.
Yeah.
And Trump jumped all over reporters today for even asking the question about Epstein. He said he's a creep. Why are you asking about him? We got kids dying in Texas, Yeah. I'm telling you, they don't want to talk about this thing at all. Period. That's it. So I'm done talking about it. But you guys made a difference. I really believe that. You really did.
Well, thank you, Charlie. Again, I appreciate you calling. And again, this is what the show's for. I was offended when Donald Trump acted like that. I thought,
just get over it. Yeah. Come on. He can have a bad day every now and then. Come on.
Shut up. Let the man talk. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Charlie.
It's like Pete said. Yes, they think we're just stupid. They really think we're stupid.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Charlie. Thanks. Well, thanks, man. I'm glad you're out there.
Well, Murray puts it best.
Murray.
He says, "Why would your government think it could cover up Epstein's international sex trafficking and blackmail operation after they did so with Seth Rich, 9/11, COVID, the JFK assassination, the Las Vegas massacre, the OKC bombing, Benghazi, Hunter's laptop, Anthony Weiner's laptop, the Russia hoax, the 2020 election, WMD, Operation Fast and Furious, and big tech censorship? Why would they think they could get away with this?"
God. Wow.
Think about the Las Vegas massacre. Do you have any clue how and why that happened?
No. All those guns in that room and
how he got them there?
Yeah.
Why he was there?
Yeah.
How about the guys who tried to kill Trump last summer?
Yeah.
It's like the 1 year anniversary. We don't know anything about that kid.
Right. And they sure covered his body in a hurry, the first one.
What is it? Where do these stories go? Where's the media saying, no, we want answers?
Yep. And they're just, well, I mean, we're not going to get them. It's over. We're not. Penn Bondi made it very clear. That's it. That's everything on Epstein. It's over. It's done. The case is closed.
And they want us to trust them.
Yeah, except for now they're going to come out with a new theory on the missing 1 minute on the videotape.
That's when she lost me.
Yeah.
with that crap.
Well, every night there's a minute. We lose a minute. You do. So, as in other words, you mean to tell me that there's no way for them to use technology to have something done in that 1 minute where they take all kinds of stuff and put it in the way they want it to end like they want it to.
The best part is that we're working with the federal prison thing or whatever it was, Rikers Island, wherever the hell he was. Yeah. We're working with him as if it's a Pony Express. We're going to write a letter, and a strongly worded letter, give it to somebody. He's going to run it over to them, and it'll take a few days for them to read it and get it, and then run it back. You could get an answer in an hour.
Yeah, I know. That's just, I guess it's a freaking cover-up. They got away with it. They got away with it. I mean, seriously, we're never going to know the answer. And again, although she did say she didn't know anything about whether Epstein was involved in secret operations with the CIA.
She can't say it. She can't say it.
Well, no, but she did. She said, I don't know, but I'll get back to you on that.
She should already know.
Yeah. She knows.
She knows.
That's what I was saying. She knows that. Please. She doesn't know if there's anything on Epstein being involved with the CIA or the mob or
NSA
Interpol
or something.
I mean, all of them. I mean, God.
Interpol, please, that's a joke.
I mean, who knows? Well, MS1 or what? MI1? What the hell's the British one?
MI6, MI5.
And Mossad, yeah. I mean, come on. I'll bet he had links everywhere.
Well, since Bond died, MI6 is kind of in the tank.
Still, I mean, you got to be kidding me. Oh, I don't know about that, but I'll get back to you. Oh, well, thank you so much.
She should have looked right at the camera and says, we have top men working on this.
Let me circle back on that.
Top
Staff? Damn it. Anyway. All right, boys. It's 3:44, and maybe now something you'll really enjoy. Oh, no, almost. Not quite enjoy. Here now. And now, another edition of Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Bad Text Theater Playhouse, where by golly, we try to bring just the teeniest ray of sunshine into the otherwise miserable lives of you, the little people. Today's episode, Juneau, the capital of Alaska? Sorry. Shut up, sit down. The scene. See, Juneau, the capital of Alaska?
Heard
Sorry.
First.
The scene. Two normal American guys sitting in a bar. One turns to the other and says,
I heard on the TV that Argentina has a surprisingly cold climate.
You sure about that? I think it's pretty warm there.
Yes, I'm sure. They said it was bordering on Chile.
And scene. Bordering on Chile. Even the accent makes it even that much more special.
Are you sure about that?
The little accent éclair at the end there. Are you sure about that? You're killing me, Smalls. Joey? Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
You ever been in a men's locker room?
Sterling movies about gladiators. Sterling edition.
Turkish prison.
Joey, you like movies about gladiators?
Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Bad Text Theater Playhouse.
Joey?
I just have to say, Joey. Yeah, you've never had to drag that big look up and down the basketball court.
It was
beer.
Bob Lanier. You drag Bob Lanier up and down the court.
Or Bill Lambier. I don't know. I can't remember.
I think he said Bob Lanier. I think he said Bob Lanier, the old...
or maybe it was...
Buffalo Braves guy.
Yeah.
Or Piston or whatever he was.
Anyway, all right, boys. Well done, sir. Well done, Pete Davis. Mercy. God, it's 3:46 already. Holy cow. All right, hold on. We got a possible explanation for some of the video on the missing Epstein tapes is coming up. Plus, let's see, we had enough on Donald Trump here, on the flood thing, and more reaction on the flood stuff, and Hunter Biden's role in the White House is even more so. It's unbelievable. All right, we got it all. Kevin Pete Flounder and Laura Bryan in the back there. Here we go. Look at it.
just headlines on your ride to work? It's the Morning Extra, live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, only on XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Che Alexander, Fulton County Clerk of Superior and Magistrate Courts. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Hey, it's Flounder, and I've got 2 pieces of advice. Marry the girl of your dreams and get the ring at Solomon Brothers. That's what I did. I recently tied the knot, and my wife loves jewelry. So when I heard about Solomon Brothers' Christmas in July event, I was back in the store. Santa ditched the sleigh for a surfboard, and Solomon Brothers is celebrating with 31% off everything. Rings, necklaces, earrings, you name it. It's all 31% off for the 31 days of July. Premium pieces, unbeatable prices, and serious brownie points. Solomon Brothers is Atlanta's only 5-star rated jeweler with over 3,000 glowing reviews. They're the preferred jeweler of the Braves, proud partner of the Dogs, and official jeweler of Georgia Tech. So whether you're popping the question, shopping for your wife, or just want to treat yourself, Solomon Brothers is the place. So come see us at Solomon Brothers Jewelers on the 17th floor of Tower Place in Buckhead, on Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and on Fisher Crossing Drive in Sharpsburg. Or shop online anytime at SolomonBrothers.com.
Thinking about buying a firearm for home defense or personal safety but don't know where to start? Start with True Prep. We're a family-owned store focused on education, safety, and community. Join True Prep's Firearm Fundamentals Workshop on July 13th to learn about the purchasing process, gun safety, selecting the right gun, and more. No pressure, no intimidation, just real help from real people. Our expert instructors create a relaxed, hands-on experience tailored for beginners. Visit TruePrep.com at TRUPrep.com to sign up for this workshop today.
Are you the type of consumer that likes to do your research before you choose a company? Well, then you need to join Dan Watkins, Chris Lolamy, and myself, Jim Niarchos, every Saturday morning at 9 for the All Four Seasons Home Show. We only vet local businesses with a proven history of integrity, competence, and solid customer service. The All Four Seasons Home Show helps you make a good consumer decision, save money, and not get ripped off. You can also follow our podcasts on Apple, Google, and Spotify. The All Four Seasons Home Show, Saturday mornings at 9, right here on XTRA 106.3.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Sonders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
...2006, Brian May from Queen made a huge donation to save hedgehogs from slaughter in the outer Hebrides. Hebrides or Hebrides? Hebrides.
Dinsdale.
Although the exact amount was not revealed that Brian May donated, it was said to be enough to pay for the rescue of hundreds of hedgehogs from Eustace, where Scottish Natural Heritage had been culling the animals for the last 4 years. I love when they cull. They have to cull.
That means killing.
But they kill them, Brian May's money would go toward funding cash rewards for islanders so they could save more hedgehogs.
Hebrides, I believe you were correct.
It's got to be Hebrides. And Our birthday list includes Kim Darby. Oh, she has a boy's name.
Oh, she was cute.
She was very cute.
And a good actress.
Very good actress. In the original True Grit.
Mm-hmm.
And despite her boy's name, Kim Darby was very successful and is 78 years old today.
She was in one of the scariest movies I saw as a kid, where she was in an old house, and these little troll-like creatures would come out of the bottom of a chimney and do things, and at the end of the movie, they drag her down into the hole in the chimney.
Oh, my.
Yes, it's not a happy
Was
ending.
she a little girl?
No, she was like a teenager or a young woman, and they drag her down into the hole.
Oh, my heavens. I have no idea. And on this day in history, a rather bizarre thing, and I remember this, I'll bet Pete Davis... Oh, in fact, hey, Lord Brian, have you ever seen or heard of an erector set?
Oh,
I have not.
I thought you were going somewhere else for a second.
Yes, I have.
Yes,
I got one for Christmas.
Oh, you had?
When I was a kid. Yes.
Okay, well, that's
that was
right.
some erector, too.
Yeah, there you go. Again, 40 years ago. Well, here's the story on the erector set. It was on this day in 1913 when Alfred Carlton Gilbert received a patent for his erector set, an incredibly popular toy. Metal construction, originally sold in wood boxes by his company in Connecticut. The sets included metal beams, various lengths, but with regularly spaced holes. Using nuts and bolts, the beams could be used to create different buildings and structures, take them apart, and then used to build something new. By 1924, the sets featured 70 different kinds of parts for the erector sets. When Gilbert died in 1961, the company lost sales, filed for bankruptcy. They added plastic, colorful parts, but it really didn't do much. And, of course, that's when all of a sudden, not Nintendo, Legos started coming out and things like that.
For simpler people.
Yeah. Well, it's true. Legos just snap together. It really meant for children.
Erector, you had to really put some thought behind it.
And you also had to, you had to use a nut and bolt. You had to actually use a little thing to tighten it up. I mean, you had to really do something. It was...
And at first, the erector sets could only be played with at night.
Well, now Pete.
Erector
You've been
sets.
spending too much time with those mountain women.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
They came up with another name for you.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it's not Timmer anymore.
Lacey, no, what now?
Starts with an R. Starts with an R.
Rimmer. I wasn't even there that weekend. Anyway,
cost extra.
Yeah, but by the way, one of my sources has said he had heard that one of the videos from the missing Epstein tapes, which they're not talking about, clearly showed Nancy Pelosi. I think I heard a bad word.
Yeah, I did.
I just heard a bad word.
Heard a bad word.
Are you listening to something in there? Maybe a comedy bit?
A nice word, but
it was two syllables.
I got it. I'm editing a comedy video. So.
Kind of like Tootsie Roll Pop.
You found the right part to edit, I can tell you that. And we just heard it, so now it's gone. Too bad you missed it.
We both heard it.
We'll play it again later. Just for the record. Anyway, my sources said that one of the tapes clearly shows Nancy Pelosi wearing some kind of a Velcro device, and she has Chuck Schumer dangling upside down in some kind of a leather hood. And lo and behold, in comes California Governor Newsom's wife, the former Harvey Epstein couch bimbo, shoving Pelosi aside, sternly proclaiming, "Get out of the way, you're doing it all wrong." And Schumer says, "Baby, I'm not from Havana." I mean, if those tapes are released, there's going to be hell to pay in the Democrat Party.
How long did you work on that one? Did you have someone write that for you? Because I'd fire that writer right there.
Immediately.
Seriously, how long did you work on that? Do you have more? Because if you do, put it to the bottom of the pile. I beg you.
Right now. Ouch. And now Founders got a little something for it. Where's that just
legislation that puts a privacy wall between me and this fella I'm pissing beside that I've never met in my life? I need a wiener wall. You know what I mean? I got another fella's pecker out 8 inches from my right thigh. His urine is sprinkling on my pantaloons.
Oh, Lord.
I'm not trying to wash them every time I wear them, okay? It's not a homophobia thing. It's a laundry thing. I need a wiener wall. It's ridiculous. It's a wall every American can get behind, okay?
To the side.
It's divisive in a good way. Build the wall. Build the wall.
That is Mr. Cliff Cash right there.
Cliff Cash, right, ladies and gentlemen. I get so much. Mercy. Okay, doke. Let me do one quick good news thing here. At long last, and then we'll talk. We got to talk some more about the flood thing. And that woman who complained about only little white girls are the ones that people care about and stuff, she doubled down again. Actually came out with another comment.
There's also some more that are even more heinous. I think these are bots. Some of them were just, they have these. Well, it's China. It's big about it, where they have a whole wall of phones, and they just put stuff out. This AI puts stuff out. I don't think a lot of it is humans doing this now.
About what?
Well, they flood things. Like if it's an anti-China website, they'll flood it with all this fake stuff and try and overwhelm it, or get people to change their mind by going on Twitter saying, "Well, you're in the minority on that thought," when you're not.
Like a lot of times when you go down to the comments, it's all that based on the post. Yep.
Yeah. And in fact, even on X and Twitter, it'll say comments based on what's right. But again, who knows what?
Yeah, you don't know who's human anymore unless you know.
Figure all this out.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, a minister who's the boyfriend of that woman in the former Houston mayoral appointee in Houston, who came out with the comments about the little girls and the flood thing. The boyfriends come out with the comments about the two. But let's do very quickly. Man, we'll do a bad one, too. Some good news. If you're flying, you don't have to take your shoes off. Whew. If you have an ID, and not one that has a little, a star in the top of an actual license ID type thing, official one. Passengers no longer take off your shoes. Agency checkpoints. They've made technological advances since the shoe bomber Richard Reed smuggled explosives on his feet back in 2001. Kids under 12 and old folks didn't have to do it. But you have to have an approved, now required ID, the legal one with a little star up in the top part, and making people very happy. And then there's this story, and I don't understand this at all, except people are, in trouble. A man, a 35-year-old guy in Milan at the airport, stopped his car in the terminal, abandoned the vehicle, ran into the terminal. He didn't have a ticket, made his way to a restricted area, and then leading to the runway, 2 border police tried to stop the guy. This is in Milan at the airport. He freed himself from the police, ran onto the tarmac, and threw himself into one of the 2 turbofan engines on the Volotea Airbus. And firefighters were seen recovering what they say is the body or the parts or the soup. In an airplane engine, in an Airbus A319 Airbus, he jumped into the engine to kill himself. There was a suicide on a Delta flight in San Antonio 2 years ago. A guy got ingested, and he did it on purpose.
Why would you do that on purpose?
I can't imagine. And in let's see, southern Iran, a maintenance worker was working on the engine and realized he left a wrench somewhere. They turned on the fan with the thing, engine sucked him in and killed him accidentally. Right into the motor. Anyway, Kimber Pete Flounder, Lord Bryan, 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. I don't know why I'm excited about that. I have no idea.
You're more out.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Atlanta's Safe House.
They're searching for a miracle. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Day 5 in Texas Hill Country, where at least 109 are confirmed dead now in Friday's flash floods.
Kerr County Sheriff Larry Letha asking private boats to stay off the Guadalupe River to allow rescue and recovery crews to continue searching through miles of muck and debris without interference.
87 deceased have been recovered in Kerr County, including 56 adults and 30 children.
5 campers and counselors at Camp Mystic are still missing. Police in Odessa, Texas, also confirming that one of their officers on a trip with family along the Guadalupe River for the 4th of July holiday is among the dead.
Fox's Jeff Bonasso. Officials say the search remains the priority for now as reporters push local officials for answers on who was in charge when the flood started. The U.S. Supreme Court has just paved the way for mass layoffs in the federal government, overriding lower court orders that temporarily froze the cuts.
Essentially saying that a San Francisco judge who put a stop to the Trump administration from cutting several federal agencies, they're saying that the Trump administration, in fact, right now can continue forward as the case plays out on its merits.
Fox's David Spun. Today's unsigned order says no specific cuts were before the high court, only a Trump executive order order and an administrative directive for agencies to downsize the federal workforce. The lone dissent is from Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, accusing the other justices of greenlighting legally dubious actions. The sentencing date is set for Sean Diddy Combs, October 3rd, for his conviction in New York on 2 federal prostitution-related counts. A jury found the rapper and businessman not guilty of sex trafficking and racketeering, which could have sent him to prison for life. A mixed finish on Wall Street. The Dow down 165 at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info's protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry. Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry.
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
The foam of Atlanta. WFON. The only foam that doesn't really suck. Something on my bones with my ice cream cones. Those are lyrics, are they? Is that Weezer? Okay, that's good. 1997, a sad day for Weezer. The founders of their fan club, Mikkel Allen and her sister Carly, both died along with their younger sister in a car wreck in Colorado, Rado, I guess it is now, on the way back from one of their band shows in 1997 with Weezer. The girls were part of the Weezer 1994 B-side. Mikkel and Carly were posthumously honored through several tribute songs, including Jimmy Eat World's song called Hear You Me. Okay, well, it's very sad. But now, our birthday list includes Milo Ventimiglia. Oh! Hey, Milo, the V-Man, 48 years old. Jack Pearson on This Is Us. I didn't see that. Isn't that thing about we're all members of the same race or some crap about
NBC crap?
All freaking woke and, you can't say anything bad about anybody.
Being a heterosexual, scumbag. I couldn't watch it. I was banned.
It's not allowed to. Jack Pearson, This Is Us. Peter Petrelli on Heroes and Rocky's son on Rocky Balboa. Milo Ventimiglia is 48 years. That's 46. 48. 40. What is it? 48.
Speaking of which, shout out to the Blue Ridge Creamery. They have some of the best ice cream
store.
Oh, and big chunks of ice cream.
Is it a local ice cream maker store? Oh man, I used to work before I went in the Marines.
Strong wrists.
The summer before I joined the Marines and went to Parris Island, 1966. My summer job. I went to Parris Island in September 66. My summer job that summer was driving an ice cream truck. What?
You somehow turned that down in 4 seconds to you.
Well, I'm remembering because it was a local creamery, and they used to deliver the milk to my back porch in one of those little aluminum ice boxes on the back porch, and the heavy cream with the cream on the top. This is unbelievable. And I used to drive the big milk truck, and I used to go there at like 4 o'clock in the morning and take all the milk that I would deliver and all the ice cream I'd deliver to all the summer camps in the Berkshires, all that, driving a big truck all around with all that ice cream and the big 20-gallon milk tank cans and all that stuff. Man, I put on some muscle before that thing, and I did that for the whole summer. And part of the reward was that I could have all the ice cream I wanted, and it was all that fresh that made it right there in the shop. Wow, boy!
And a teenage girl her wrists have got to be strong as like a catcher's by the end of the season doing
the old-fashioned way.
And big old scoops. I got rainbow sherbet, which was Baskin-Robbins quality sherbet, and Captain's chocolate chocolate, which was a deep, rich chocolate.
You know what I'm kind of hooked on these days?
What?
That silly Tillamook stuff, orange and cream and peaches and cream.
Creamsicle?
No, it's creamsicle ice cream, basically. It's called, Tillamook calls it orange and cream, and it comes in a half gallon thing. But it's basically a creamsicle, which was my favorite back when the ice cream man would come with this little truck.
Pop-ups?
No, I never did pop-ups were not there when I was a kid. They didn't. There was no
they hadn't even invented pop-ups.
Had not invented. I'm
point.
older than pop-ups.
Oh my God!
How does that grab you? Oh my God!
I think the Babylonians came up with pop-ups.
It's very possible. I would not doubt anything. Anyway, Kim Repeat Flounder, and did I do a birthday? I can't even remember now.
Yeah, you did.
I did. Oh yeah, Ventimiglia Cornelio. And on this, I bet you've heard of this. And on this day in 1896, William Jennings Bryan gives his famous speech advocating against the gold standard.
Yeah.
Having behind us the producing masses of this nation and the world, supported by the commercial interests, the laboring interests, and the toilers everywhere, we will answer their demand for a gold standard by saying to them, you shall not press down upon the brow of labor this crown of thorns. You shall not crucify mankind upon a cross of gold. William Jennings Bryan, former representative from Nebraska, gave that speech at the Democrat National Convention in Chicago in 1896. The gold standard had been in effect since 1873 and limited the money supply, but eased trade with other places like the United Kingdom, who also had a currency based on gold. But Americans like Bryant believed that making both gold and silver legal tender was necessary for the nation's economic health in 1896. Are we on the gold standard? I don't even know what we're on.
Nixon took us off that, didn't he?
That's what I thought, but what are we on now? Paper standard?
The Federal Reserve
diamond standard?
Making it up. There's no standard.
And by the way, Trump again says he's got to go.
How about the whole thing got to go?
It's got to go. It doesn't make any sense. The guy is running it based on his political hatred for Donald Trump.
Yep.
There's no possible explanation. There is no inflation. There is everything. Tariffs are working. Everything's great. Everything's going nuts. People are again the deadline of August 1st for all the rest of them to come aboard. I mean, we're coming in by the billions and billions of dollars. And if we reduce the percentage point by 1 point, we make $300 billion.
All I know is if interest rates stay up, I make more money.
Well, again, I don't have any money to make. Yeah, either way, I mostly have this little.
I'm not talking about millions. I'm just saying more.
Still, see, I don't know whether it goes up or down. I don't know anything. I don't know whether it's good or bad for me. I have no idea. I got a monthly statement going, oh my God.
They still wait a minute. They don't charge you for that statement because that's costing them money at this point.
But the envelope's getting thinner and thinner.
I'm just saying.
They have all your stuff, and the list of all your stuff. Yeah, it's getting thinner and thinner every month. I don't want to say anything.
Your bi-monthly pay insult.
Yeah. Oh, mercy. Anyway. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, we got nosy stuff.
It's like that movie. You guys are getting paid for this?
Yeah. I thought I was getting car wash tickets. Trade for. Is this the big Amazon Prime Day?
It is. It starts today. It runs 2 or 3 days. This is the day to get the good stuff.
Popping up on my phone are the
right
best
now.
Cosmetics, the best toothpaste, save money on
I don't need any of
ironing
this.
boards. I mean, please,
archery sets, are they on here? I'm not getting
well,
an
there you
archery
are.
set.
Now, do you do Amazon Prime?
Oh, hell yeah. It's a great deal. Not only that, because there's free shipping on almost everything. You get great deals, and my credit card's tied to it, so I get points. So a lot of the time, I'll order something, and I'll look up and go, oh, it's free.
Huh.
Several times a year, I'll order something for me or someone else. It's like, oh, it's free. I got so many points.
I'll be damned.
Every time you pay a bill or every time you go to the grocery store or something and you use that card, you get Amazon points.
Now, the stuff that's listed on Amazon, that's still from a different company.
It depends.
But it's...
No, some of it's Amazon, and a lot of it, in fact, they say the majority are small businesses that tie in with Amazon and that you're getting it from them.
All right, so are you getting brand names that are all marked way down?
Both. No, well, they could mark it down because it's Amazon, and you can get bulk stuff really, really cheap.
But what's the point of it? In other words, what would you expect
it's easy,
to get?
It's free if you got Prime. And it's there within a day or two.
But in other words, if you want to buy a pair of jeans, is it cheaper to buy them today on Amazon?
Probably. If that's what genes are part of it, probably.
But how do you know?
You can get a Kermit the Frog for 17% off.
I mean, do you Google Amazon with sales and see what's listed there? I mean, I don't know how this works.
You look for something, or they have a thing, sales, and you'll go down to sales and see what they have. Or you just put in here, well, I'd like to see what Kermit the Frog's up to today, and I can get a chef for 15% off.
Well, I mean, if you want a washing machine or a dryer or something, can you see Amazon dryers for sale?
Yeah.
And you get a cheap
pickleball sets.
Okay, well, I didn't know.
Maybe time to buy that.
Flounder, are you an Amazon? Do you Amazon Prime Day?
Yes.
Are you big into that? Now, what are you buying today, for example?
I haven't bought anything, but I buy some vitamins and stuff on there that I might buy this week because I'll get half off.
Wow, see, I don't even go into that stuff.
This is a.
How about Mrs. Flounder? Is she a web shopper girl?
She utilizes. Everybody uses Amazon, other than you, probably.
Carbon fiber pickleball racket. How much you gonna increase spinning control? Andre Agassi's shape.
I just sent. You know what?
How much you pay for it?
I sent my among them things I sent my daughter Sarah for her birthday, which is on the 12th, and it's already been arrived at her home. Was I called her country club where she and Dan belong, and I talked to the pickleball people, and he said that their top range pickleball racket's $250.
$279 for one with an NFC chip in it that Andre Agassi is endorsed.
Well, she wouldn't want that.
Why would you need a chip in it?
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, you can spend $700 or $800.
There's
I think
no
if you
way
want.
in hell.
Yeah, but in other words, I sent her a check for $2, along with her other gifts and stuff. I sent her, very good things, but I sent her a check for $250. Now, I suppose if I could have, but again, if I were honest, I can't be bothered. I just, I don't have that much time left.
Your magnesium glycinate could be 15% off today.
Well, now, see, I was just at the freaking drugstore, and I should have gotten some of that there. Anyway.
Here's a Kermit the Frog T-shirt, which is 30% off today.
Well, now, see, who in the world, so that someone say, boy, I should
very
get
careful.
This?
But yeah, because someone who listens to you right now is shaking her fist at the radio.
Oh my God! I hope it's
Belinda.
Oh, well, not bad. I mean, I love Belinda.
Oh,
she did wonders to that Kimmer Babe shirt. I can tell you that. Little hot redhead, yes, sir.
That's what she calls herself. The
hot
redhead.
Oh, she's a Kimmer Babe.
Yeah,
she's truly a Kimmer Babe. In fact, well,
Kermit the Frog here.
It's too bad I'm not a man.
No, near and far.
413 off, 414 off.
Archery set 15% off.
Oh, I love archery. I want to get a bow and arrow set. I would definitely want. Oh, that's a good one too. All right, I'm going to get one of those. All right, look out. Here we go.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, XTRA 106.3.
It's a very happy hunting ground for puddin' sticks like me who want to take potshot commentaries. For instance, we have that socialist professor at the University of Houston who wants to rename the school George Floyd University. Oh, I'll have more to say on that later in the week. Right now, though, I call to your attention the memory of Rahm Emanuel and his statement, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." The flash floods in Texas, a crisis, and the Democrats are certainly not letting it go to waste. Trump derangement syndrome is in full bloom in Central Texas. Some examples. A Democratic Socialist website posted this. The Mystic Summer Camp in Texas is what happens when you have a fascist authoritarian despot who is more concerned with enriching himself and his billionaire buddies than saving lives by addressing climate change. Massive cuts to weather forecasting by Trump and Musk killed children needlessly. Then there's Christina Probst, a doctor, a physician, an MD, a pediatrician, Houston, Texas again. May all visitors, children, non-MAGA voters, and pets be safe and dry. Kerr County MAGA voted to gut FEMA. They deny climate change. May they get what they voted for. Bless their hearts. As of yesterday, this pediatrician is no longer employed. A political appointee, again in Houston, and this was totally predictable, said that Camp Mystic was an all-white camp and that this story wouldn't be getting near the attention it does if the victims hadn't been white people. This political appointee, along with her braids and her nose ring, has now been dismissed as well. This crisis in Texas has been transformed into a festival of blame for the Democrat Party. Rahm Emanuel would be proud.
There's no better place to be than Truist Park this summer, especially when the Braves face the Yankees and the Giants. July 18th through the 23rd. On July 20th, the first 3,000 kids will receive a copy of the Goodnight Braves Fans children's book. And then on July 21st, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Braves rope hat, presented by Napa. Visit Braves.com/promos to check out more giveaways and fun at Truist Park.
Cunha strikes one to deep right field on the rise. Carroll turns around. There's some smoke right into the chop out.
And fans can enjoy any of these games during the week with the T-Mobile Summer Steal deal. With the Summer Steal, you can choose from one of 3 seating locations for any regular season game, weekends included, and receive a ticket, snack, and a drink for as low as $30. Or if you prefer something different, you can choose any menu item up to $12. Visit Braves.com/steal to purchase your tickets today. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country. Compact outside, the all-electric EQB 250 Plus SUV is big on space, style, and smart ideas. With available seating for 7, a digital voice assistant, and MB navigation with electric intelligence, the EQB is born from a forward-thinking family and built for yours. Get an exceptional offer on the all-electric 2025 EQB 250 Plus SUV. Just $359 per month for 36 months with $49.53 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the Mercedes-Benz Dream Day sales event at RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, extended through July 31st. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through July 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online
An assassination attempt. Saddam Hussein's retaliation for his assassination attempt led to his execution in 2006. Again, this was 1982. Saddam's motorcade traveling in a Dugel, I don't know what it is. A dozen gunmen used the cover of the date palm orchards lining both sides of the street to ambush the motorcade. 2 of Saddam's bodyguards were killed. Most of the attackers were either killed or captured in a 4-hour firefight. Saddam arrested suspected members of the plot and their families. 140 people were executed, including 4 people who were not guilty but were mistakenly executed anyway. They were members. Members of the Shiite Dawa Party, a terrorist organization viewed by the West. The executions were the primary charges for which this was in '82. The charges, the primary reason that Saddam was convicted and executed in 2006. Saddam's half-brother and Iraqi intelligence chief Berzan Hassan and Awad Bandar, the former head of the Revolutionary Court, were also hanged for aiding and abetting in crimes against humanity for naming the suspected Dawa Party members to be arrested. So they got hanged for telling who you guys were. It became known as the Dugel Massacre. I'm probably mispronouncing Dugel. I have no idea. There you go. Okay, all right, we got 424. All right, we're rock and rolling now, baby. And now the Supreme Court. Again, it's another win for Donald Trump. Here we go. The Donald Trump team can go forward now with plans to slash the federal workforce and get rid of federal agencies. Supreme Court ruled today could result in job losses for tens of thousands of employees at agencies like the Department of Housing and Urban Development, State Department, Treasury Department, VA. It lifted a lower court ruling blocking mass layoffs, which was unsigned, but the order is typical in an emergency application. However, one justice wrote a public dissent. So one justice out of the 9, 8-1, decided that not only did this particular justice want not to vote with the rest of them, but wanted to go on the record as a dissenter. And that justice, of course, is Ketanji Bippity Boppity Boo.
One going against 8, including the other 2 liberals.
All the other women. Yeah.
Even they couldn't do that.
Right. And again, this is the same woman. Well, you know about it.
She's an idiot.
She's refused to say what a woman was because she's a coward and was afraid of being criticized one way or the other because she didn't want to go unwoke. I mean, what a coward. How could you possibly have someone on the Supreme Court who refused to answer the question genetically, what's a freaking woman? You can't answer that question without worrying about the answer? How could you be a Supreme Court justice forever, by the way? What is she, 38, 41 or something? Another 50 years? God. Anyway, so Donald Trump won the right by the Supreme Court today, 8-1, to fire people and eliminate agencies. The technically owned is temporary, but that's, in practice, he can pursue his restructuring plans. The latest in a series of victories. Now, check this out. It followed a major ruling in June when the Supreme Court limited the ability of judges to block Donald Trump's policies when all those district judges were using nationwide blocks, and the Supreme Court got rid of that. The Supreme Court also had emergency decisions allowing members of the Department of DOJ to gain access to records held by Social Security. The court ended that humanitarian program to give residents more than 500,000 immigrants from countries facing war, granting for now the Trump request to remove the leaders of 2 independent agencies. The application on mass firings arose from an executive order directing officials to put together plans for large-scale cuts to the federal workforce. And he's doing it, and it's the right thing to do. And again, everybody, if you lose a job, we've all been there. I lost everything, being out of work basically for 5 years when I was still paying bills from 3 houses. So, we all suffer with this kind of thing. And if you're a federal worker and you suddenly have been able to stay home for 2 years without going into work, and now all of a sudden you've lost your job, well, that's too bad. But again, we didn't deserve to be paying you on the payroll for things that are not needed. I'm sorry, you can't just say, well, I'm a federal worker, therefore you have to pay me the rest of my freaking life and then retire on benefits.
What did you say to those co-workers and those pipeline workers? Oh, learn the code?
Yeah, code. Yeah.
You can't even do that now.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I mean, so again, it's a horrible thing. And I've got some Facebook friends who are saying, what am I going to do now? I'm going to lose my job. Well, I think they have to get another one. I mean, you know, hell, we tried to get a podcast to make money. You know, do what you have to do. Anyway,
I think you're underselling the podcast a little bit.
Well,
just a wee bit.
No, frankly, I'm disappointed. You know, I read Denise Richards. I got a story on Denise Richards. In fact, I'll do it. Do I have it here?
Oh,
do I have it here? Check this out.
What's worse, what she's making or what she's spending?
Here we go. Well, I'll do both. In fact, I'm going to go right up to the break on this because it makes me freaking crazy.
She's good looking, though.
Oh, she's beautiful.
She used to be.
Well, Bond girl and, you know, Charlie Sheen's thing. Anyway, Denise Richards and her husband are breaking up.
Oh.
The husband filed for divorce, and he wants spousal support. And here's why. And they've been married 6 years, no kids. They got married 6 years ago. Now, Denise Richards has daughters, 20, 19, with Charlie Sheen, and she adopted a 13-year-old daughter after she divorced Charlie Sheen. And so Denise Richards now makes $250,000 a month. OnlyFans and her reality thing, brand deal stuff. OnlyFans career has skyrocketed. Denise Richards, $250,000 a month.
How much she spending?
Her husband doesn't make anything. He closed his business and he doesn't make anything. She makes $250K a month. They spend. He filled out the papers of what they spend. $20,000 a month on clothes. $18,000 a month on rent. They have a house that costs $18,000 a month. They spend $10,000 a month on groceries, $8,000 a month on heating and air, $15,000 a month eating out, and $15,000 a month entertainment.
$10,000 in food and $15,000 to eat out.
Eat out, yeah.
What are they buying? Caviar?
Well, they're buying a lot of stuff. $105,000 a month.
Okay, $20,000.
Basic expenses.
How much for clothes?
$20,000 on clothes a month.
How can you never wear those clothes?
No, you don't have enough closet space to buy $20,000.
That is now you know why people want to burn the rich.
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, Denise Richards says, I will say that I'm in the top 1% of creators on OnlyFans, and I'm so very grateful. She credited her husband for helping her create the risque content. He's so good, he knows what men love. He'll go through all the photos and stuff, and he'll say, oh, this is good. Men love this. Men love when you do this.
What is she doing?
I'll tell you what.
She's gotten more Randy on the count.
She looks horrible. Her face. She's gotten so much work done to her face. It looks fake.
Yeah.
She was so naturally beautiful.
Yeah, not anymore.
I haven't seen her since the Bond girl days.
Well, since that threesome movie she did with the girl from that you like.
Oh,
the one from Party of Five.
Yeah, the little dancer girl.
What was her name?
A ballet dancer with a haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hot haircut.
Kind of butchy looking. But
yeah. I almost had it. I almost had it again.
I can't remember her name.
Oh, crap, for Party of Five. Oh, I hate this. All right, give her Pete Flounder, 431, and Lord Bryant's in the back.
Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell. There you go. Former ballet dancer. Said she has ugly feet. I have no idea.
The Kimmer Show is live until 6 p.m. and XTRA 106.3 has the rest of your night covered with Jesse Kelly up next. Fox Across America with Jimmy Fela at 9 p.m. and The Guy Benson Show at midnight. All live on XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
Ever regret a bad decision? Life is full of twists and turns and unfortunately a few regrets. Don't let new windows for your home be one of those regrets. Call the pros at Peach State Windows today. Get 8 Energy Star approved double hung vinyl replacement windows installed for only $39.95. That's 8 windows installed for only $39.95. Call or click today, 770-485-8011. That's 770-485-8011 or peachstatewindows.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 3 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffers from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. We provide testosterone replacement therapy, the P-shot, and treatment for ED, PE, and Peyronie's disease. There's not just one therapy that can solve these complex issues. When you visit our clinic, you're going to see me. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. 404-777-1911. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. 404-777-1911. Online at tbtofga.com. Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
This is Bruce Hagan. The law in Georgia has changed, and it's going to be harder than ever to get fair treatment on your personal injury claim. If you have been injured through no fault of your own, call me. You need a real lawyer, and that's who we are. We're not some TV and billboard lawyers who don't even know how to get to the courthouse. I've been a Georgia super lawyer for 20 consecutive years, and that's because I try cases and I win cases. We get results for our clients, and we can get results for you. Hagan-law.com.
MLB All-Star Week is coming to Atlanta, where running is a favorite pastime. And we're honoring Braves legend number 44, Hank Aaron, with the MLB All-Star 4.4 miler, Sunday, July 13th at Center Park Stadium. Sign up, lace up, and be a part of All-Star Week's unforgettable events. All entrants score a ticket to the HBCU Swingman Classic presented by T-Mobile and a pass to Capital One All-Star Village. Register at allstargame.com by July 12th. MLB trademarks used with permission.
XTRA 106.3 personalities aren't afraid to tell it like it is.
Without Donald Trump, nothing that's going on would be happening right now. Donald Trump is changing the world.
And you'll never hear us spew that violent rhetoric from the left. So don't be afraid to tell it like it is. Because we're happy to have you as part of the XTRA community.
I particularly like Donald Trump's actions in getting illegal aliens the hell out of this country.
XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
Excuse me?
We were at a party. The dear Lord fell in the day. Someone reached in and grabbed it.
Sounds like the B-52s. On this day, 1979, the B-52s make their British live debut at London's Lyceum Ballroom, supported by the tourists. Rock Lobster. What was the one?
Love Shack.
Love Shack. Love Shack.
Tin Roof Rusted.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, she's pregnant, right? Wasn't that what that meant?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, B-52s, they're a little, had an unusual sound and very popular and successful. Our birthday list includes Angelica Houston, 74 years old today. So happy birthday, Angelica. And on this day in 1853, a rather big event in history, which I had no idea of, or if I did, I'd forgotten it a long time ago, involving American international relations and the Navy. On this day in 1853, Commodore Matthew Perry, representing America, sails into Tokyo Bay, Japan in 1853 with 4 vessels in a squadron. Japan refused to talk to him. So Perry said, "We'll attack you if you don't."
That's a little arrogant.
Our superior American ships. And so eventually the Japanese accepted letters from President Millard Fillmore. And it made the United States the first Western nation to establish relations with Japan since it had been declared closed to foreigners 200 years before. Only the Dutch and the Chinese were allowed to trade with Japan after 1639. Shogun.
So we caused it. We caused them to enter the world, just like Nixon going to China caused that. Why? Why do we do these things?
After giving Japan time to consider the establishment of external relations, Commodore Perry went back to Tokyo with 9 ships in 1854. They signed a treaty with the Japanese opening the ports to American trade, permitting establishment of the U.S. consulate in Japan. In 1860, the first Japanese diplomats came to visit America, the first time in 200 years, reaching Washington. They stayed there for weeks, talked about expanding trade with the United States. Other Western powers followed soon after, contributing to the collapse of the shogunate and ultimately the modernization of Japan.
Helped overthrow it. Why? Talk about arrogance.
Yeah.
You're going to trade with us, by golly. They were minding their own business, having nothing to do with anybody else, and we force our way in it. There's a John Wayne movie about that, by the way. I think he's Matthew Perry.
Oh, no kidding.
Or he's one of the party.
You're going to talk about Commodore Perry, not the actor. Wow, what a bizarre story. Hold on a second. Sorry.
Bless you.
Now it's like one of those coughing hacks. And by the way, since I went to the doctor the other day and they changed my medicine, I'm like taking half the amount of my losartan I used to take. Yeah. I feel unbelievably different. I've gained 4 pounds. I'm eating more. I'm working out. I'm running around. I'm lifting weights. And I'm not doing that whole dizzy thing when I get up all the time again.
Your face is still killing me.
Well, I still got my right eye. I still got an eye thing. Well, very funny. The peanut gallery's got to check in over there too. Now, pretty soon you're gonna have Lord Brian back there taking shots at the camera before he leaves. Yeah, I go and say goodnight. He says, "Get rid of me, a-hole." I go, "Hey, Brian, God, tough crowd." Anyway.
You look better. You do. You look better.
I have more energy, and I'm not getting. And my blood pressure. I've been taking it frequently just to see what's going on. Instead of like 70 over 40, it's closer to like 110 over 70 or kind of.
And you stop playing with that erector set every night. So.
Well, no, that's not true at all. So that
helps a lot.
I'm going to have another lollipop.
Your precious bodily fluids.
I'm going to have another lollipop here.
Can I have one?
Yeah,
a red one.
Yeah, I'm here.
Can I have that? Well, what are you going to have?
I got another one in here. I'll have a purple one. Oh, I love purple ones.
Okay, then I'll have the
I'm
red
not even
one.
sure what it is, but I love the purple ones.
Purple's grape, isn't it?
Probably. And again, I'm hooked on these stupid things. If I'm in the instead of snacking on something, I'll just take a really stupid pop thing, a Tootsie Roll pop, and it lasts for half an hour or as long as you want it to last. When you don't put it down or whatever. Anyway, so
I like the rim around it here.
Yeah. Well, now wait, hold on. Whoa, there's no rim area.
Right here.
The thing for the thing there. But now, okay, a couple of stories about politics as far as 440. Let's do tweets in a next break. After the next break, you want to do that? Let's do that. All right, hold on. Here it is. A couple of former administration things. Good. And again, whenever I get information about the former administration, which we compared to the last several months when Donald Trump elected the second time, I'm going to do it. Here's why. A couple things. First of all. More information coming about how they ran things in the last administration. A former top advisor to Joe Biden labeled Hunter Biden's presence in the White House way inappropriate, especially concerning when the Supreme Court made the landmark ruling that former presidents have some immunity from prosecution. It turns out that the Biden team was talking about how to cover up the concerns about his age during the election cycle. One of those new books that's come out said that the chief of staff, Jeff Zients, coordinated a video call with key Biden staffers, including the chief counsel, the director of communications, all these people, and they wanted to talk whether Joe Biden should provide an on-camera reaction statement to the Supreme Court decision in July last year, giving the president rights to, do things he wanted to do about some kinds of parts of immunity. And they wanted to discuss whether or not Joe Biden should make a video statement on camera. Staffers on the call started hashing out the specifics when all of a sudden somebody else chimed into the call. The guy says an unidentified voice suddenly piped up from Biden's screen and recommended an Oval Office address. At first, no one knew who the hell was talking. It was a video conference. It soon became clear the voice was Hunter Biden, and the White House staff had not known he was even in on the call. So the chief aide expressed concern about the appearance of using the Oval Office to comment about a Supreme Court decision. So Hunter Biden snapped back. This is one of the most consequential decisions the Supreme Court has ever made, and my father has every right to use the powerful imagery of the Oval Office to deliver that message. Well, the staff later settled on a hallway down the hall on the first floor of the White House and not the Oval Office. And then when the call ended, the top aide told everybody else that was very, very inappropriate. They talked about a brief speech responding to the Supreme Court ruling and he eventually delivered a brief comment, Biden did, about the ruling somewhere other than the Oval Office, took no questions from the press because his son said, don't take any questions. Hunter Biden was as much of a key advisor behind the scenes to the way he acted in public as much as that wife.
Meth addict.
Unbelievable.
And a creep.
Oh, it's
sexual
scumbag.
trafficker. Wasn't he a pedo too? Or was it just...
Well, it was in return for Daddy grooming him to be a bag man for the mob.
Well, he's a grown man. He could at some point said no.
Yeah, well, now he groomed him. Remember he had him taken... Well, anyway.
I could probably pick up one of his paintings now for 80 cents,
$4. Anyway, so that's about the Hunter Biden thing. And now this just came in just a little while ago on Carmela's side piece. And it turns out now the former vice president's aides implored the girls on The View to go back and try to get her to answer the same question again that she blew the first time. You'll recall when she was a famous clip on The View, they asked her, let me get the exact same thing. It was October 2024, Sunny Hostin, who's now been blamed for ruining her career, the vice president's career, Sunny Hostin asked the former vice president's side piece if there was anything she would have done differently than Biden over the course of the administration to date. And Vice President's side piece actually said, well, there's not a thing that comes to mind. Well, that was a ball game. In fact, everybody said, oh, you idiot. Oh, my God. What's the matter with you? So now, as it turns out, her aides, Vice President Carmela's aides, now tried to get the co-host to ask the question a second time. She said, there's not a thing to mind, and the big difference between the two of them, the new book says that the aide went to two of the co-hosts trying to get her to do it again. Backstage, a deputy campaign manager put his head in his hands and started swearing. During the next commercial break, Stephanie Cutter went to the co-hosts, Whoopi Goldberg and Anna Navarro, to say, please ask it again. But they didn't get a chance, and after the interview, Harris knew she'd screwed up and asked how big a problem that was. An advisor said, well, it's the defining error of the campaign.
You want to tell you now?
Yeah.
Every day, Susan.
Every day, Susan, every Friday and every other day. Hey, Susan, welcome aboard. How you doing?
Pretty good. In light of what's going on with the tragedy in Texas, I thought my call would be very, very just benign, vanilla today. So Pete was talking about a movie earlier that frightened the you-know-what out of me when I was a kid. It's called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
Yes.
And original one was 1973. And you talk about scary. It's even still scary now. Like The Exorcist back in the day was scary, but you watch it now and you laugh. But this Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, the original, is just, I remember as soon as you started talking about it, I was actually on my run, and I was like, "Oh, I remember that movie."
I've never heard of it. And Pete's got a screen here on about nuns. Is it about a religious thing?
No, No, it's about these like supernatural creatures that live under basically the chimney, if you will.
Oh,
and
man.
The woman inherits the house, and it's like a big palatial estate, whatever. But it's just the thing that makes it scary. It's kind of like the original Jaws, where you don't see the characters really until the last 10 minutes of the film, and even then it's very limited. So the imagination goes.
Yeah, that is a great way to do it.
And that's what makes it good to watch it again, as far as watching it now. And then the other quick thing I wanted to say was, you were talking randomly about hedgehogs earlier.
Yeah.
Do you know that they're illegal to own as pets in the state of Georgia?
Illegal to own a hedgehog? Because they're probably
a random thing that I know.
I'll be down. Well, it's always good to know random things. Every Friday and every other day.
10 cents for everyone. 10 cents for everyone.
Thanks, sweetie. Hi to Kelly for us too, and have a great. Thank you. Always a pleasure. 447.
So I wasn't crazy.
No,
that
you weren't crazy at all. Don't be afraid of the dark. Afraid of the dark. Any stars in it?
Kim Darby.
Oh, that's right. And I can't remember even hearing about it. I'll be darned. Anyway, Kimber Pete Flounder, Lord Bryan in the back, and your calls too on 106.3. Look out.
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the XTRA 106.3 app. Now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have XTRA's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new XTRA 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Santa's traded in his sleigh for a surfboard. This is Jaron Solomon, and it's Christmas in July at Solomon Brothers Jewelers. We're turning up the holiday cheer with 31% off every single item in our specially marked trays. That's right, rings, necklaces, earrings, every type of jewelry we carry is included. It's not just holiday hype, it's the real deal. Inspired by 31 days of July and packed with serious sparkle. Come see why we're Atlanta's only 5-star rated jeweler with over 3,000 glowing reviews. The preferred jeweler of the Atlanta Braves, a proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs, and the official jeweler of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. For 31% off during Christmas in July. So come see us on the 17th floor of Tower Place in Buckhead, on Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and on Fisher Crossing Drive in Sharpsburg, right across from the Costco. Online at SolomonBrothers.com.
A company that has been trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years has already done their hometown homework, like having the very best people, fair, honest pricing, exceptional customer service, and a focus on high-quality work. That's us. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Sometimes new isn't better, like out-of-town home improvement companies invading Atlanta with their inflated pricing and subpar work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Okay, you're driving along. Suddenly you hear that horrible sound of metal and crunching. It's an accident. Even if it's a little minor fender bender, man, that could be a nightmare. First, obviously, take care of yourself. But before you make a deal with an insurance company or anybody else, call David Van Sant with Van Sant Law. You know why? Because he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows how to get the right settlement and right away. Van Sant Law, don't forget, if you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Protecting your interests. Insurance is great, but it's complicated. 855-GA-INJURY or vansantlaw.com.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
All right. There we go. Oh. The electric guitar there. 1967, the Monkees.
What?
The Monkees. Wait.
Oh, well, okay. I know.
The Monkees begin a 29-date tour with the Jimi Hendrix Experience. We're talking the Monkees, 1967, okay?
And Jimmy's opening for them.
Well, no. Well, yeah, he's opening as a support act. Jimi Hendrix was the support act for the Monkees.
Yeah. Didn't go
well. The Monkees with, I Dream Believer and all, the cold shave when you get up in the morning, whatever. Oh, my God. The bubblegum type stuff. Well, the Monkees started a 29-date tour with the Jimi Hendrix Experience as their opening support act. And Jimi Hendrix got dropped after 6 shows because they said, this ain't working. You sound ridiculous for our guy. I mean, it didn't really go, so anyway, so that wasn't too good. Phone calls take priority. It's Rick the Painter. Rick, you're on the radio. Hi, happy Tuesday, man. What's going on?
Hey, Kimmer. Hey, brother.
Yeah.
Last Monday was the last day of June.
Yeah.
And I was talking to one of my Mexican buddies, and I was asking him what he was going to do, for the 4th of July, at the end of the week.
Yeah.
He goes, what are you talking about? I said, man, this is the end of June. He said, dude, Julian.
Julian. Oh, June, you're lying. Oh, my God. Oh, golly.
Cameron, I got fired from the clock factory.
You got fired from the clock factory? What'd you do?
Well, after all the extra hours I put in.
After the extra hours we could see there.
Oh, you give me the plane. I get the plane, not the other one.
All the jokes weren't that hot today.
Well, it's like Stephen Wright said, I intend to live forever. So far, so good.
All right, that one saved it.
Thank you.
Right.
Anyway.
Hey, you mentioned earlier that movie?
Yeah.
You said any stars in it besides Kim Darby?
Kim Darby, yeah.
William Demarest.
Oh, no kidding.
Uncle Charlie.
Uncle Charlie from My Three Sons.
My Three Sons, and Jim Hutton. Timothy Hutton's father.
Yeah. I'll be damned. Don't be afraid of the dark.
Don't be afraid of the dark. 1973. I think they made a remake with Guillermo del Toro, but that's a scary one.
I don't think I've ever. I can't remember even hearing of it. I'm kind of surprised here, actually. Let's see. So screw the history thing. We'll do that later. Let's do this, and then I got kind of like a game quiz too. Let's do a little fun here.
You got a game.
Okay. I didn't do a birthday. Do a birthday? Let me do a birthday.
This close to a clean getaway.
Jeffrey Tam. Well, I see now nobody likes my history, and that's why they mock me.
Well, that guy is bad news. Jeffrey Tambor. He's a great, funny guy.
He's
bad news.
He's bad news, but he's one of the funniest guys ever. Jeffrey Tambor is 81 years old.
The Larry Sanders Show.
The Larry Sanders Show is, just as good as it gets.
And what was the other one that you love?
Arrested Development.
Yeah, Arrested Development.
Yeah. Jeffrey Tambor, 81 years old. Yep. But he's a real dirtbag when it comes to loving his country.
Did the trans thing.
That's wrong. Anyway, so 4:54 already. Holy cow, we got this, and I got a couple of quiz things, bar bet type stuff for you coming up. First of all, we have, we got all these tweets and funny liners and stuff, and a little thing we like to call Pete's Tweets on the radio.
Tranny tweets, apparently, some guys are not willing to date trans girls, and I just don't understand why not.
Yeah.
To which Shannon Berg responds, and I'm going to clean this up. I can give you one reason. Your penis. So he didn't use penis.
Just one reason there, right there.
Anti-Acid wants you to know that when she dies, don't look for her in the sunsets.
Don't look for her in the sunsets.
I'm going to be chasing you up the stairs after you turn the lights off.
Oh, my. I'll look forward to it.
And now a haiku from Swanson about his life. I am so tired. Where did all my money go? My back is hurting. 575. It works. Dogs can hear 4 times farther than humans can, which makes it even more impressive how they manage to ignore you so effortlessly. But open one potato chip bag.
One lousy thing.
Whenever I see chocolate, I hear 2 voices in my head.
Yeah.
The first one says, eat the chocolate. And the other voice says, you heard him, eat the chocolate. Bart muses, I wonder if the people paying $300 for a colon cleanse even know about Taco Bell's $4.99 deal.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And 40 people are missing after the first Flat Earth Surfing Championship.
Maybe you should get a clue. By the way, I have a quiz for you.
Yes.
It's kind of a sports quiz because we have Holy Crap It Sports coming up in about 20 minutes. Which ball...
Pardon me?
In which sport does the ball travel the fastest?
Highlight.
Well, I shouldn't have asked you first. Pain in the ass.
The pelota. And the fronton.
The cestas. What do they call it?
Well, that's the thing that hooks on their arm.
That's the basket.
Yeah.
You have your glove basically is a basket. It's a rounded, curved basket that you have as a grip on your hand and your forearm. And they throw this big wooden ball against a wall way down forward, and then it comes bouncing back, and you catch it.
I don't think it's wooden.
Well, I don't think anymore. I think probably the original ones were, but I'm sure they're hard plastic or whatever.
Did you say grip?
Yeah, it's like a basket.
A young boy, or a girl for that matter, but particularly a young boy.
Out of context.
First of all, give it a good firm grip. Don't just hold your hand out there. Give it a good firm
handshake.
Shake. Give it a good firm grip.
Handshaking.
I get a little anal about this. I love to teach young kids,
I was
young
talking
boys.
about handshaking.
Get a little anal
handshaking grip. My God, man.
Show them the erector
And for the
sets.
record, the sport of highlight, players fling the ball out of the basket-type gloves they wear called cestas. Highlight players can fling the ball out of their cestas at speeds about 200 miles an hour.
It's amazing.
And there have been incidences where they come back bouncing pretty hard and fast. And if you, it's.
I never played it.
I've seen
Miami's big about it.
Yeah, down in Florida. My brother, when he first retired, went down to Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. They used to have a lot of this back in the 80s and 90s. And highlight, I think, is still pretty popular. I don't know. It used to be huge down at least in the Florida parts. Anyway, Kimber Pete Flounder, how's it going? 4:57 already. Holy cow! By the way, that former Houston mayoral appointee, Sadie Perkins, who complained about only having little white girls that people care about who were killed in the Christian camp, and she said, if you ain't white, you ain't right, you ain't getting in. Nobody would care if all these little white people, the parents of these little white girls, be saying things like they need to be deported if they were a group of Hispanic girls. She doubled down on it. Her boyfriend's a minister, and her boyfriend said, I want no part of this.
White minister.
Yeah, white guy. And she's black, and kind of a hot black chick. Looks like a chicken head hood rat. I guarantee you she's at the, clubs. Anyway, and the boyfriend says, I want no part of that part. But I guess he hadn't broke up with her. He didn't say, that's it for me. And now Flounder's Funnies right here. Here we go. Right here in the area with talking.
Ever have somebody call you by the wrong name repeatedly? And for whatever reason, you never bother to correct them? After a while, you start to kind of like it. My next door neighbors, when I was a kid, knew me as Kevin for like 8 years. I loved it. Until one day my mom slipped and told them my name was Ted. I was so annoyed. I was like, Mom, how could you do that? You know I'm Kevin. They needed me to be Kevin, and I was perfectly happy. And it was so embarrassing the next time I saw my neighbors, they were like, why didn't you just tell us? I was like, you liked me as Kevin. When I was Kevin, the world was alive, and everything was brand new. And I'm just afraid to lose all that now. They said, look, we liked you as Kevin, we'll like you as Todd. I suppose you will. Todd reporting for duty.
And his real name is what?
Ted Alexander.
There you go. Anyway, Kimber Pete Flounder, Lord Bryant's in the back there on Let Her Rip Tuesday again, 106.3, the farm of Atlanta, the only farm that doesn't really suck. Almost 5 o'clock.
It's WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station, locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the XTRA app.
Mass layoffs get a green light. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The U.S. Supreme Court says President Trump's plan to downsize the federal workforce can proceed, at least for now, overriding a temporary freeze in lower courts.
This is something that the Trump administration is going to tout. They've been looking to make cuts in these agencies, and really things have been on pause for this Justice Department and this administration in many ways because they've been tied up with these lower courts, with the district courts, with the circuit courts, and then the Supreme Court delivered them that gift just a couple of weeks ago and said that these nationwide injunctions in many cases must not go forward.
Fox's David Spud, a federal judge, ruled in May that congressional approval is needed for sizable cuts to federal agencies. The Supreme Court allowing job cuts while the legal fight continues. President Trump holding a meeting with Israel's prime minister for the second day in a row as U.S. Mideast envoy Steve Witkoff tells reporters a 60-day ceasefire deal with Hamas is close.
We had 4 issues, and now we're down to 1 after 2 days of proximity talks.
So we are hopeful that by the end of this week, we will have an agreement that will bring us into a 60-day ceasefire.
Witkoff says the deal would include the release of 10 living and 9 dead hostages. Prime Minister Netanyahu's latest meeting with the president comes after meetings on Capitol Hill and with Vice President Vance earlier today. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says hearts are broken as he visits Kerrville, the epicenter of the flood tragedy.
They need to know Texas is in this with the people in the Hill Country right here. We are not leaving until this job is finished.
He says the 109 deaths confirmed are more than the state's loss in Hurricane Harvey as the search continues for more than 100 still missing. North Carolina now reporting 3 possible storm-related deaths and weekend flooding from the remnants of Tropical Storm Chantal. America's listening to Fox News.
You're great at protecting your personal information. You might even use things like two-factor authentication and strong passwords. But as much as you try to control how your info's protected, there are other places that also have it, and they may not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed, or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name Clay as the promo code at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry. Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry.
Keep awkwardly chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it. Woo! Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of blank. Ready on your dog target. Road guards out. Stand by. It's only me. It's only the cover with Pete Davison, Flounder, and Lord Bryant's in the back on 106.3. Happy Tuesday. Hot and steamy, just like always. Mid-90s. It's summertime. And what do we expect? A lot of political stuff, newsy going on here. Including, we haven't talked about it yet, but now the lead story on Fox. They're doing a lot of stuff on this New York mayor guy, Mamdani. Is now got caught, lying and cheating about his past. He pretended he was Asian. He was pretending he was black to get into Colombia. He just got caught giving the finger to the statue of Christopher Columbus, and then making the Italians in New York very happy about the guy. He wants to control groceries. He wants to control your food supply. Government-run grocery wants to control your food supply. Wants to stop rent things. He wants to control your housing. He wants to control your food supply, your housing, and your guns, which he thinks also pretty good. He's also a Jew hater, and he hates Italians.
Doesn't he know that all their food comes from outside Manhattan?
I know.
And if he pees them off, they're not going to deliver it?
Well, I mean, this is hysterical. I mean, just one. And by the way, Donald Trump, we're going to start with Donald Trump here in a second. But Donald Trump, during his meeting today, opened his cabinet meeting to the public, to the world. The media come in, he just says, here we are, for hours, like a couple hours. And among other things, he said, if Mamdani this is Zohar, whatever his name is, if he wins, Trump says he may take control in New York City. He may just take it. He says if things get out of control, if they're communist takeover of our cities, we have federal government's not going to let that happen. You can't control grocery stores.
Well, half of me does not want him elected because he's such a Jew hater. The other half wants me to see that whole place slide into the ocean.
Well, the best thing that would happen would be just, okay, wait a second, because they would be forced to answer this hateful anti-Trump, woke, crap, racist business once and for all. I mean, I can't imagine.
They don't ever learn their lesson, though. No matter how bad it gets, they keep, we haven't done it right yet.
I know. Someone's going to have to come forward. Honestly, I think Fetterman's going to be the guy. Some Democrat is going to have to come forward and say, all right, That's enough. Stop this business about saying we need to have shootings. We need to give our bodies up we need violence in the streets. We need to do anything we can to justify getting rid of Donald Trump. I mean, all that violent talk about, and they just arrested 10 guys for conspiracy for ambushing federal ICE agents. Yeah. I mean, and the Democrats are calling for more of this. They're calling for violence. That fat black mayor of Los Angeles, that girl, just, tried to kick him out of the whole thing. And the ICE says, hey, baby, we'll be back. We'll come back as often as we feel like it. Yeah. But again, it's the Democrats are calling for violence and calling to shut down, calling federal agents Nazis. The violence against federal ICE agents has gone up like 1,000. It was up 600%, and now it's gone up even more because the Democrats are calling for violence. It's as simple as that. And they're going to, so here we go. So anyway, that was just kind of a little side dish here. Now, Donald Trump, holy cow. And again, for the record, it's 506, Kim Repeat Flounder. Here's our number. I'd love to hear from you if you think I'm wrong about this. 404-741-1230. Donald Trump at his cabinet meeting today opened up the whole thing, which is, again, the world has never seen anything like this. World leaders are going to have to, well, not world leaders, but the next American president. How could they go back to the Biden thing of coming out with no comments and not taking reporters' questions? I mean, it's got to change forever, I would think. Anyway, so Donald Trump opens up the stuff. They were talking about various things, and then one of the reporters, I don't know if it was Peter Ducey or not, I don't know who it was. One of the reporters asked the question that was on my mind, and I'll bet most of your minds after what happened yesterday, when the biggest story was that there was obviously the flooding stuff in Texas, but again, that happened on Friday. So it's been several days with the flooding in Texas. We all know about it. Our hearts are broken, and all the update stuff, and we all know that kind of thing. But the major story yesterday and overnight was what the hell happened to the Jeffrey Epstein evidence. We thought there was videotapes and documents and things like that, and all of a sudden there's not. So a reporter, and we're going to play the Trump cut here, Flounder. So a reporter tried to ask Pam Bondi what the hell was going on, and Donald Trump interrupted, and I don't think this was the right way to do it, if you will, Donald Trump.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
A desecration? What the hell does that even mean? I mean, obviously Donald Trump wants to talk about happy things and stuff, but there's a cover-up going on. And they, what they did to try to get rid of it, I thought Donald Trump was way out of line here. I can't believe it. I'm still, if he were running again, I'd vote for him again. But I thought this was way out of line. I thought it was an obvious attempt to try to shame people into not thinking about this anymore. What, are you kidding me? This was a major issue on all our minds. The MAGA movement, people are going nuts. YouTube's going nuts. X is going nuts over, finding out what the hell's going on there. Well, here's the better part of what happened there. Pam Bondi said, you know what? Let me answer that question. So Pam Bondi, your Flounder, if you will, sir. Here she goes.
First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night.
Makes no sense.
And that's it on Epstein.
All right, that's it on Epstein. In other words, they have now closed the case on Epstein. and we're getting screwed because we have a lot more to ask about, including they released 11 hours of video yesterday showing Epstein's prison cell door. But the tape skipped from 11:58 to midnight. And so now they're saying, hey, bye, baby. There she goes. There's my girl. I'm sorry. I just had you. She waved and she blew me a kiss. I'm saving it for later. On the way home. Video set. So there's a minute missing in the videotape. Now, I don't know about what could happen in a minute other than if there's something missing, then they could have spliced in all kinds of stuff. And who knows what could be missing or edited or anything else. With technology these days, please, you're killing me. So, but again, they released 11 hours of the video showing his cell and nothing happening, which they say proves no one got in there to kill him. So, I mean, but again, the missing minute, is that a thing? Now, also, she said that didn't she say thousands of hours of video were all that he downloaded child porn? Bull crap. I saw the video last night of Virginia Guffrey, who was the woman who killed herself. She was that very pretty young blonde girl. I think she was 16 or 17, with her arm being wrapped around by Prince Andrew. That's a famous girl in the picture. She was involved in depositions, and she sued and won money and all kinds of stuff. And then she killed herself a few weeks ago. And I saw her from the interview last night on Jesse Waters, and she said that when she was in one of the office control room areas, she looked up on the wall, and there were TV monitors, TV sets, TV monitors, one after another, and they had labels on the bottom. They said bedroom, bedroom, bathroom, bedroom, bathroom, bathroom, bedroom, stuff like that. She said there were cameras everywhere. So where's the video? Now, if Pam Bondi, when she said the video was all that disgusting downloaded of child porn, that's the point. We don't want to see the child involved in it. We want to know who the adults were with the child porn. Is she telling us that the only thing that was seen on those videotapes that were collected, apparently from the Epstein place, were only of little girls by themselves? Or I mean, if it was kiddie porn.
If he's downloading porn, it's not there. It's not. He's not providing it. He's just downloading child porn.
Yeah, but that doesn't explain the TV cameras and the monitors of the bedrooms and the bathrooms. You got to be kidding me. And again, when they broke in eventually, the FBI did not have a search warrant to be able to take the stuff that was in the safe, as I recall from the very, very beginning. And when they went back, they took what they were allowed to take, but stuff was gone. Where is it? Who got it? We know there were videotapes. There were depositions of the girls who were involved in this stuff, telling the names of people. Where are they?
Yep.
No one's been arrested except Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah. Why isn't she screaming?
As a pimp. And if there were no victims, if there were no evidence, then why is she in jail? And how come she's not telling everything? They're going to kill her if she does. Whoever is involved, Biden.
Oh, no, she'll kill herself.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like
the other
Virginia did. Yeah. I mean, this whole thing just freaking stinks. And by the way, Glenn Beck today said Pam Bondi should be fired. Today, right now, fired, period. Where are the tapes? Who's got the stuff? Who's got the information? Who did it? I mean, seriously.
Well, she put egg on the whole administration's face by running her mouth saying that it was on her desk.
Yeah.
And she was probably she was full of herself at the moment.
She needs to explain if there were other tapes that were not captured, where are they? Who got them? Who destroyed them? Who got them? Who destroyed them? And we'll never know. They got away with it. The swamp is bigger than we'll ever be able to fix. Apparently, until someone comes forward, somebody's going to have to be like the guy for Deep Throat. The FBI is going to have to come forward.
The only way you stop a government like this is revolution, and what's that going to do? I mean,
I know.
How's that going to win?
What crock? Guys, 5:15 already. Holy cow! Kimber P. Flounder and Lord Brian in the back. Holy crap! It's sports coming up here, and your calls too, and a little happy Tuesday you're calling for.
Wherever you are in Georgia, you can stream XTRA 106.3 in crystal clear digital with the all-new XTRA 106.3 app. Get Extra's live on-air stream in real time, or go back and listen to all your favorite shows, Neil Bortz, or original podcasts, no matter where you go. Grab the XTRA 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Your safe is waiting. Your safe is waiting. In fact, I should get about 3 more. In fact, once you realize how much, how much more secure you feel having your stuff locked up. Like when I found in Florida when I retired, no medical records, no safe, no boom, bam, pow. It's my own fault, but again, Jeff and Mark, Atlanta Safe House will take care of your problems. And if you don't think you've needed a safe before, trust me, when you realize you don't have what you thought you had, how about your kid? If something happens, my kids now know where to get my living will, my medical records, my financial records, what's ever left and stuff like that, important papers and things. Come on, you're killing me. Don't forget, Atlanta Safe House. You will never pay sales tax on gun safes. And they've got gun safes, holy smokes, all shapes and sizes, little pistol safes and portable safes and beautiful, beautiful deals and rebates and sales all the time. You're going to save hundreds of dollars on these babies. Jewelry safes, high security safe, business safes, being like a bank vault for crying out loud. They can build you a family storm shelter, protecting your rights. They can change your master reset code. They can fix a safe you have. They can rent you a safe. Up on Industrial Boulevard in Acworth, they have their showroom on the web, atlantasafehouse.com.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turfco. We're a family-owned and operated independent local company here in the Atlanta area. We've been in business for over 15 years. We install several different types of artificial grass. One is landscape, which looks like real grass for your lawn. The next one is pet turf. Pet turf is a little bit shorter than landscape, and it's more durable. And the other one is putting greens. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
It's that time of year again. Chuck, the owner of Central Heating and Air Conditioning, is bringing back the 5th annual Christmas in July benefiting Skyland Trail, a nonprofit leading the way in mental health wellness right here in Atlanta. Skyland Trail provides expert, evidence-based treatment to help people facing mental health challenges find a path to recovery. Central Heating and Air Conditioning is proud to support this mission. As one of the few second-generation locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta, Central knows what it means to give back. Here's how you can help. Just sign up for a maintenance agreement with Central Heating and Air Conditioning, and $10 from every new agreement will go directly to Skyland Trail, providing life-changing mental health care for adults and teenagers. Central services all makes and models, and with them, you're never just a number, you're part of the family. Call 770-GET-HEAT or visit centralheat.com to sign up and help Central Heating and Air Conditioning give back. Carrier products, carrier warranty, carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Retirement components look different for everyone because everyone is unique, but there are major components everyone needs in their retirement. So, Coach Pete, what are things that need to be covered with everyone?
The 4 main things we go over: retirement planning. Everyone needs a retirement plan. We're all going to retire eventually. We need to make sure our money's waiting for us when we get there instead of us waiting for our money. And then we need asset allocation and investment guidance. In other words, where is your money? Why is it there? And should it stay there? Or when do we move it around every now and then? Or should we move it? Is it a good time to move it now? Then tax planning. Nothing in writing that says you have to overpay. When you're in retirement, you want taxes in your favor, not against you. And then estate, succession, legacy planning.
For a complete retirement review, comprehensive and customized, call Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler of Chandler Wealth Management. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. Again, 800-419-6164.
Military veterans are eager to transfer their skills and experiences to civilian life, but lack trusted connections to expedite their path to success. That is, until they meet the Warrior Alliance. The Warrior Alliance goes the extra mile to reach veterans in their communities so they do not have to take this journey alone. With over 40 partners across 10 service areas, your donation goes a long way toward achieving maximum impact for a veteran and their family. Go to thewarrioralliance.org to donate today and commit to helping the Warrior Alliance change thousands of lives for the better.
MLB All-Star Week is taking over Atlanta with baseball's hottest events and coolest fan experiences, like Capital One All-Star Village, the MLB Draft, T-Mobile Home Run Derby, and the MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard. It all starts July 11th with the HBCU Swingman Classic, presented by T-Mobile and powered by the MLBPA Youth Development Foundation. And don't miss the All-Star Futures Game starring minor league baseball's best. All part of MLB All-Star Week, July 11th to 15th. Learn more at allstargame.com. MLB trademarks used with permission.
Colonel John Nixon said the words when in the course of human events and began the first public reading of the Declaration of Independence outside State House, now Independence Hall, in Philadelphia this day in 1776. The Declaration of Independence. Now sponsored by RBM of Atlanta. Holy crap at sports with Pete Davis.
That's a video that every child in America should go on YouTube and watch.
Thank you.
Braves in Sacramento. What did they do wrong?
Hey, wait a minute.
They take a wrong right turn there in the Bay.
That's not heard of such a thing.
For the first time ever. They're going to play the A's tonight in what's Sacramento known as? The River
Rush
City?
Limbaugh's former city, yeah.
Rio Linda was the one
it's
he
the
made
state
fun
capital of California.
Yeah, true, it is. The 0-2 Didier Fuentes for Atlanta has an ERA of 9.
Oh, boy.
So he's nice and round. Against the 6-6 Jeffrey Springs, a lefty. Bravo's in 4th place in East, 2 games behind the 3rd place Marlins.
Oh, boy.
The Athletics are in last place in the AL West, 18.5 games behind their Astros, but the Braves only have 2 more wins than them.
Everything I read about the Braves, I see whatever it is. It's over. They're not going to make the playoffs. The ball games and the manager's out. And this is last year, and it's all. I mean,
it
it's
literally would be a
awful.
miracle to come back. Now last year, I'll get some of these numbers wrong. The Tigers,
the pitchings, and we're screwed with the pitcher.
The Tigers were like 8 or 10 games out of a wild card on August 4th or something like that, and managed to come back.
That was different.
Yeah, I think. And there's a lot of good teams in the National League this year, and they're all ahead of the Braves right now. They're putting up the big posters all over Truist Park today for next week's All-Star game. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
The whole place is just it's already buzzing. It's a week away, and the place here is buzzing with no game tonight.
Right.
We sometimes play Met superfan Frank the Tank, mainly when the Metropolitans lose, so we can hear him explode with a negative fury. Did you know that Frank the Tank once weighed over 500 pounds?
Oh, my Lord. That's why they call him Frank the Tank, obviously.
He's been on a diet. He's now down to under 300.
Ah, good for him, buddy.
Yes. When the Braves swept the Mets a few weeks ago, Blooper, the Braves mascot, worried that Frank would start stress eating.
I'll be darned.
The Pirates are trying to trade Brian Reynolds, but Brian Reynolds has a no-trade clause. Yeah, that Brian Reynolds. So he's given the Bucks a list of teams he will not play for. Okay, 2 states in the country he won't play in. What are they?
New York.
And
California.
California. And a country.
Canada. I don't blame him.
Well, he's smart. He matriculated at Vandy. He knows what taxes are.
There you are. You got to have good SATs to get into Vandy.
Right. The Yellow Jackets are hiring Ryan Alpert, wonder if he's in relation to Herb, as their next AD. He's Tennessee's Senior Deputy Athletics Director, Chief Revenue Officer, or Well, how do you fit that on a card? Senior Deputy Athletics Director / Chief Revenue Officer.
Wow.
Anyway, Alpert agreeing to a 5-year deal pending board approval sometime today. Probably has already happened, according to Pete Thamel. It's not every day the Falcons are the top story on ESPN.com, and that's never good. Kirk Cousins is upping his trade me game. The quarterback now says he might have re-signed with the Vikings last offseason, not with the Falcons, if he'd known the Birds were going to draft a quarterback in the first round.
Wow.
Now, in the Netflix series Quarterback, which aired a new show this morning featuring Cousins whining for the first time about the Michael Penix Jr. Pick, Kurt felt misled by the team. Well, get in line. Us fans have felt misled since me, 1969.
Yeah, the whole injury thing there,
and that's all these lying about putting a winning team on the field. The Falcons chose Penix with the number 8 pick. Meanwhile, the Vikings chose J.J. McCarthy 2 picks later. So they also picked the quarterback right behind him. But he says he'd rather have stayed in Minnesota now. Boy, that just makes a real good teammate.
Why is he even talking at all?
He wants traded. He wants out. No, he wants out.
But it's getting, it's kind of offensive.
And we all felt misled when he refused to tell the coaches how hurt he was last year and led them to the crapper.
Yeah. And the fact is, he's not the guy he was before, and he's old. I mean, it's just the truth
And he
of
never
the
will be
situation.
again. He never will be
So
again.
just accept it and be, somebody's backup and shut up.
Be a Mitch.
I mean, he's a good guy. I think he's, I don't know.
Nice. Who knows? Also on that Netflix show, Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow revealed he canceled his purchase of the functioning Batmobile.
Oh, no. We just talked about that.
After his home was burglarized, saying, I have other priorities right now.
Well, that's probably
a home security system and gunned security agents. I would, if I had that money, there'd be at least two guys with guns there 24/7.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm not there.
Yeah. And they might be dressed as lawn-caping guys or somebody, but, they would maybe not have an AK-47 over their shoulder, walking
Hey,
beats.
Joe, why is Ernesto the gardener strapped out there? Well, those Japanese beetles get out of hand sometimes. Frankly, I think having a Batmobile in the garage would be kind of a deterrent to some criminals.
I would think,
Who lives here? Anyway, BBC sports presenter Annabelle Croft might need to brush up on her American football knowledge.
Uh-oh.
When interviewing American tennis player Ben Shelton at Wimbledon, Croft asked him about his football playing days here in the States.
Oh.
That's when she asked him about his days playing quarterbacker. Even the fans at the All England Club got a chuckle out of that. Shelton played along, also calling himself a quarterbacker.
That's funny. I wonder if he said he was with the quarterbacker position.
No, she didn't do that.
You can't even say, well, he plays quarterback. No, he plays the quarterback position.
I know. Isn't that...
What the hell?
Do they not even know how stupid they sound when they do... And that's
idiots.
It's all the ESPN thing. They all follow what the idiots on ESPN do.
Seriously.
Think for yourself. There's a huge...
Position.
Outkick.com has got a huge expose showing how ESPN has this no politics policy.
Oh, please.
Yet only the women of color... like the Elle Duncans or the Mina Kimes, can get away with basically taking photos with mayoral candidates, Karen Bass of L.A., and getting her and asking people on Twitter to vote for her. That's okay. But when the white chick, conservative, took a photo with some congressional Republican, she got called on the carpet.
Yeah.
For it. Sage Steele was basically run out of there.
Right,
and she makes no bones about it, saying that they lied to her and they basically treated her like crap because she was a conservative. It's a double standard. And like Outkick says, until you sue the pants off of them, which some people have started doing, it's not going to change.
I'm just I don't know how you stop it. I mean, how can you sue if they can do what they want and they allow...
Well, if they have a policy and they only do it towards certain people, you can sue them.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Anyway, today in sports history, July 8th, 1973. After losing 17-2 yesterday and dropping a doubleheader today at County Stadium in Milwaukee, Ranger skipper Whitey Herzog accuses Bernie Brewer of cheating.
Oh.
Who's Bernie Brewer?
Bernie Brewer was the second baseman looking at the signs from the catcher.
A little further out.
Oh, I'm sorry. The center fielder was looking at the...
Further out.
Somebody in the stands with the binoculars.
Brewer.
Milwaukee Brewer. Oh, from the
mascot.
Oh, the mascot. I'm sorry.
The Texas skipper contends the mascot used, like Mickey Mouse, hey, Minnie, white gloves, his costume hands to relay signs from his center field chalet, clapping once for a curve and twice for a fastball.
I'll be damned.
Now, they have since...
that's fair. If you're a catcher and you're signaling and somebody sees it, too bad. I've never understood why
the mascot, if the players see it, I got no problem. The coaches see it, no problem. If somebody in the stands is flashing signs, that's a problem.
If the sign is visible. It's for anybody
who's... But they're not playing.
So?
They're not part of the team, even though he's a mascot.
All right.
Well, by the way, since they moved to the new place, Bernie Brewer is in left field.
Oh, well, I didn't get the sign anymore.
By the way, the Rangers were 29-53, so Herzog said, can you imagine a damn team that has to cheat to beat us? 1979, the Mets announced the selection of Metal as the name for the team's new mascot. For what Carol Merrill has behind door number 3, what is Metal the mascot?
Metal the mascot is an old-fashioned subway wheel. I think they're reminded of the old New York Metropolitans.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a mule.
A mule?
So close.
Oh.
Dolores Matz of Mercerville, New Jersey, submitted the winning entry, believes the moniker captures the team's spirit, ardor, stamina, and courage.
I'll be damned.
A mule.
Mule.
2002, the Charleston River Dogs, Class A minor league affiliate of the Devil Rays at the time, padlock the gates of Joseph P. Riley Jr. Park and hold a party outside the ballpark to set the record for what?
Oh, rally to set the record for, I can't imagine.
The lowest attendance at a pro baseball game. When Nobody Night contest comes official in the 5th inning, they open up the gates. The audience recorded as 0.
Oh. That can't be
There's
good.
Sports.
Well, we have so much more.
Spell
Pete
it,
Davis. In fact, what the heck? It's something you said, and I was just going to respond to it, and now I forgot what it was. I should have written it down. Well, we're going to talk about tennis and boxing and so much more. LeBron James. It's 5:30. Kimber Pete Flounder and Lord Brian in the front. I got it.
Listen to the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, Neil Bortz, and all your favorite Extra 106.3 personalities whenever you want with the all-new Extra app. It's anytime show replays, all your favorite podcasts, and the latest political news from across Georgia. Download the Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android.
Yeah, here we go. Summertime and on vacations. People are getting weird out there. And, in fact, I've got a concert tonight where I go, and people are cutting in and out of traffic trying to get to the parking stuff. If you are involved in a fender bender and something's happening and your insurance company might say, nah, that's not that. We don't see it that way. Trust me, you don't want to argue with their lawyers. You want David Van Sant on your side. David Van Sant used to be an insurance company salesman guy. I mean, a lawyer guy. So he knows all the ins and outs and stuff. And they know when they see David Van Sant's number on the phone, they remember, David Van Sant, he's on the super lawyer list for years and years and years. That's a big-time Charlie here in Georgia. And he's also listed as on the 100 top trial lawyers in Georgia. David Van Sant, a personal injury lawyer. If you've been injured or wronged and you want your due, David Van Sant's the guy to take care of it. He does this for a living. And you're number one. If you don't get paid, he doesn't get paid. Insurance is complicated. Don't mess with their lawyers. Let David do it because he knows all the ins and outs. Here's that number, 855-GA-INJURY. Online, vansantlaw.com.
Things in the ballpark are really heating up this summer. If too much celebrating leaves you in trouble after the game, it's important to know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. We handle bonds from the stadium to the city, and in most cases, we can have you or your loved one out in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretired.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
Braves fans can enjoy games all summer long at Truist Park with the T-Mobile Summer Steal Deal. With the Summer Steal, you can choose from one of 3 seating locations for any regular season game, weekends included, and receive a ticket, snack, and a drink for as low as $30. Or if you prefer something different, you can choose any menu item up to $12. Visit Braves.com/steal to purchase your tickets today. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia, I got a tour of their headquarters, I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
The Morning Extra, starting your day the right way. Weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
People are moving out of these communist areas. And so this is their retort to that. This is if you're going to get our new voters and the people that we're counting on for power, if you're going to ship them out, we are going to riot.
That's what it's about.
The census numbers for 2030.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is XTRA 106.3.
All right, hold on. Now we got more upbreaking SCOTUS news here. This is going to be cool. First, some old Beatles there, buddy. Oh, sort of old, not real old. The Beatles. I don't like the harmony there. You can drive my car. It's a good song.
I'll tell Sir Paul next time I run into him.
Please do. 1970. Well, it wasn't there good harmony. It was kind of sharp. It's got sharps in it. It's not.
This is off the album Rubber Soul, which is one of their best albums.
Well, like I say, this is probably one of the finest songs I've ever heard. I'm gonna have you put this on my magic.
Yeah, sure.
Music.
Eat me. How about that?
The Beatles. The 1966 Beatles released Nowhere Man, the 4-track EP in the British area, which included Drive My Car, Michelle, and You Won't See Me. All the tracks taken from the Beatles' 6th album, Rubber Soul, which was one of the finest albums that was ever recorded by me.
It's not one of my favorites.
No, it was my favorite for a long time. Our birthday list includes Sebastian Maniscalco, the comedian. Hey, 52 years old today. I like that guy's work. We may hear from him later. I don't know yet. It could be a surprise. And Beck is 55. If that means anything, yeah. Toby Keith would have been 64 today. Stomach cancer got him. See? A couple of quick sport things here, Pete. It was 15 years ago. An ESPN primetime special. LeBron James announced he's taking his talents to South Beach and leaving Cleveland. And who thought that would have a happy ending? It was 15 years ago.
They won a championship or more.
Yeah, that's it. And on this day in 1889, the last bare-knuckle World Heavyweight Boxing Championship, John L. Sullivan retained his title in a match in Richburg, Mississippi against Jake Kilrain. Bare-knuckle fighting was banned to cut down on broken hands. It was all illegal. They had car lights to show the ring and everything like that. And the last bare-knuckle World Heavyweight Boxing Championship in 1889 was a 75-round match.
Yeah. They were men back then.
15 rounds, pish posh.
Men.
75. Holy crap. I mean, you've got to be kidding. And everything was broken. Their knuckles broken, bone, wrists. Oh, Lordy. Anyway. Let's see. On this day in 2000, 25 years ago, Venus Williams won Wimbledon for the first time, beat Lindsay Davenport. It made Venus Williams the first black female Wimbledon champ since Althea Gibson 40 years or so earlier. And Venus turned pro at 14. And she beat Pam, first woman since Pam Shriver to reach the finals when she was a teenager.
This is far more information than we need about this.
Who cares about that? And the first black person to win an individual Olympic gold medal. D. Hart Hubbard, an American black guy, 1924. The first black to win an individual Olympic gold medal, the running long jump. In 1924.
Here's a tip. Anytime you get to Pam Shriver in the details, you've gone way too far in the details.
I think she may have been one of the competitors against me when I beat
She might have been because she was a good friend of Martina.
Yeah, I think it was Pam Shriver and Martina that I took on with a doubles match.
Did you want to do the... remember a week or two ago when Amy Coney Barrett went after Ketanji Brown Jackson and called her an idiot in front of everybody?
Yeah.
Well, now her fellow liberal, Sotomayor, has done the same thing.
Wow.
Jackson, the only dissent, Sotomayor has to remind her that the case before them is not about what Jackson thought it was. She didn't know what they were talking about. Sotomayor says, I agree with Justice Jackson that the president cannot restructure the federal agencies, blah, blah, blah. But, however, the relevant executive order that we're talking about here today directs agencies to plan reorganizations and reductions in force consistent with applicable law. The plans themselves are not before this court. That's what Ketanji Brown Jackson thought they were arguing. The plans were already there in front of them.
She didn't know what they were talking about. The Supreme Court, the issue was the administration now has the right to continue slashing the federal workforce and dismantle federal agencies. It'll mean job losses, tens of thousands perhaps from the HUD, from State Department, Treasury, VA. The lower courts had blocked Donald Trump from changing the situation there. Ketanji Brown was the only person, 8-1, to write a public dissent. And clearly, even Sotomayor has just said you were arguing the wrong thing.
And you want to be my latex salesman.
What do we have here? Can she be impeached? I mean, isn't there some way to remove an incompetent Supreme Court justice?
The highest court in the country.
I don't think there is.
There's no way of getting rid of one.
I don't know. In fact, we should see if Lord Bryan, see if you can impeach a Supreme Court justice. See if there's maybe the Supreme Court.
I'm pretty sure you can, but I'll look it up.
Yeah,
I think there's a way of getting rid of it. Because if one's like nuts,
But boy, you're going to have to. Now, maybe they can just say, well, I don't know. There's got to be some goal. I mean, there's got to be a standard.
If they can get the fellow two liberal women to say, this isn't working. That she doesn't even know what she's doing.
They'll never let Trump appoint another Supreme Court.
How many more times is this going to happen?
Now, and I forgot the original a couple of weeks ago when Amy Coney Barrett criticized her, and I forgot the exact issue that she. Can you remember exactly which ruling it was? Oh, I hate when I do this.
Lord Byron has an update.
Okay, yeah, Lord Byron. Brian, here you go. What do you got?
It's what I thought it was. It's basically the same process as impeaching a president. Basically, the House brings the charges with a majority vote, and then the Senate holds a trial, and a 2/3 vote is required for conviction and removal of office. So it's the same. It's the same process as removing and impeaching a president.
Well, we have the House and the Senate right now.
Yeah, but we don't have
2/3. But again, they'd never do it during Donald Trump's term.
They would wait to a Democrat president before they would do it.
But again, that's at least 3 years and maybe 8 years or
hopefully
whatever, 7.
Hopefully never.
Anyway, and again, and what the hell was that first order on? Darn it all!
I don't remember what they were arguing about, but she really laid into her.
She said you totally misunderstood what we were addressing. The issue was different. And it was like her personal opinion about something that led into her dissent. Unbelievable.
She can't even fake that she doesn't know what she's doing. Fake your way through it. Fake it till you make it. She can't even do that.
Good Lord. I got to check. There's apparently another Epstein tape segment that's been revealed.
What?
One of my sources has come up with another Jeffrey Epstein tape revelation.
Oh, no. Can I leave?
Apparently, Princess Diana was seen on the Jeffrey Epstein secret tapes in one of the rooms, showing up into a ballroom dressed as some kind of horse head. And sprawled on the ground was her riding instructor, ironically, only he was not the one wearing spurs. And she was screaming something about, the Puerto Rican pile driver or something. I have no idea, but it's all told. It was so disgusting. They'll never be revealed.
You're going to double down on this,
I'm just going to call the previous case you guys were talking about was the Maryland case.
Yeah.
Where was that the LGBTQ books couldn't be in the public schools?
Oh, was that what it was? But I forgot what her dissent was. That's what I was trying to find out. Hey, Lord Brian, find out what the Ketanji Brown's latest dissent was on the case before this one. Ketanji Brown dissent. You probably have it right there.
Pure gaslighting by CNN. They're saying it's hard for the GOP to politicize the Texas floods. The GOP doing
the
it.
Democrats are doing. Oh, you dirty, rotten snake!
Gaslighting.
Oh my God! It's 5:45. Holy smoke!
Dana Bash.
Ay. Good Lord.
Miss any of the show? No sweat. Grab your XTRA 106.3 app and listen to show replays whenever you want. Download the XTRA app now for Apple and Android by searching for XTRA 106.3.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for Howard Brothers and Exmark. When it comes to cutting grass, nothing cuts like an Exmark from Howard Brothers. Built for speed, engineered for precision, and trusted by ones who mow for a living, Exmark is the go-to for lawn work. Whether you got an acre or a whole fleet, Exmark Mowers delivers flawless cuts and reliability that you need every time. Stop dreaming about a perfect lawn. Make it happen with Exmark from Howard Brothers, where the pros go and homeowners level up.
Moldy, mildew, rotting wood, peeling paint. Is your house suffering from the uglies? Well, then it's way past time to call the siding pros of Peach State Windows. Call now and get 1,000 square feet of tough, durable Hardy Plank siding installed for only $49.95. 0% financing for 12 months and no money down with your good credit. 1,000 square feet of tough, durable Hardy Plank siding installed for only $49.95. Call today and make the uglies go away. 770-485-8011. That's 770-485-8011.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPsetc.com.
Summer is here, and it's time to enjoy your outdoor oasis as a family. Don't know where to begin? At Stovall & Company, we have everything you need to make your landscaping dreams come true. From premium mulch and topsoil to a wide variety of plants, trees, shrubs, and annuals, Stovall has it all. Check us out at StovallInc.com.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Global tensions are escalating fast, and the threats aren't just overseas. Experts are warning about sleeper cells already inside the U.S., homeland attacks, cyber sabotage, grid takedowns. When the lights go out, grocery stores are empty, and help isn't coming. The only ones who don't panic are the ones who prepared ahead of time. That's why My Patriot Supply created the Independence Day Preparedness Bundle. It includes a massive one-year emergency food supply, plus over $1,200 in free gifts. 1 full year of food, water filtration, solar power, all in one kit at a huge discount with lightning-fast free shipping. Head to mypatriotsupply.com/radio. That's mypatriotsupply.com/radio and grab the Independence Day bundle while you still can. This is more than a great deal. It may be your last chance to make sure your family is ready for what could be coming. Grab your Independence Day bundle now at mypatriotsupply.com/radio.
There we go. We got the answer. Flounder and Lord Brian. And Flounder just sent me the latest text on the Amy thing. We'll get it all to it. First, Dave Clark 5. Catch me if you can.
Now we gotta run.
Ooh. 1965. Dave Clark 5 had their movie Catch Us If You Can premiere in London. The movie was renamed to Having a Wild Weekend when they released it in America. Well, that was stupid. The song was called Catch It As If You Can, you idiots. Anyway, the song featured Catch As If You Can and Having a Wild Weekend, and I Can't Stand It. And I can't stand this whole story, so that's idiots. Birthdays. Let's see. We got Wolfgang Puck, the chef guy, 76 today. Sophia Bush, 43. She was Erin Lindsay in Chicago PD. Brooke Davis on One Tree Hill. And in Incredibles 2, whatever that is.
And a screaming liberal.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, Sophia Bush. Yeah, I remember that. The link to her, but I can't remember what show. I don't seen these shows. And Jaden Smith, 27. Just be sure to keep his mom's name out your damn mouth. Anyway. Relates to the what's his name getting beat up in the face here. Let's see. On this day in history. Now to come back and get the flounder thing here. Hold on, I got to go. First of all, this day in history. On this day in history, and I won't dwell on this. In 1959, 2 American advisors in Vietnam were the first Americans killed as part of our effort to help the South Vietnamese government. And that was in 1959. And the better news is, on this day, oopsie-daisy, in 1969, the first American troops are withdrawn from Vietnam. A battalion of the 9th Infantry is the initial withdrawal in 1969. 800 soldiers, the first of the 25,000 to be disengaged from the Vietnam War. There'll be 14 more increments in the withdrawal. The last American troops didn't leave until after the Paris Peace Accords were assigned in 1973. Anyway, Cameron, Pete, and Flounder. Now, the Amy Coney Barrett business that Flounder just sent me here. Oopsie-daisy. Oops, and now I can't get it. Oh, here we go. It was a majority opinion for the Supreme Court, which reversed the universal injunctions. Remember, all those district judges were making decisions to ban Donald Trump from doing anything nationwide. The Supreme Court clearly in the majority ruled that universal injunctions by these judges were unconstitutional. Amy Coney Barrett juked Ketanji Bippity-Boppity-Boo, quote, "We will not dwell on Justice Jackson's argument, which is at odds with more than 2 centuries worth of precedent, not to mention at odds with the Constitution itself. We will only observe this Justice Jackson decries an imperial executive while embracing an imperial judiciary," ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it was just one thing after another. She just read her carved her a new, oh my Lord.
As someone pointed out, she nuked her from orbit.
I mean, she creamed her. And now Sotomayor, in fact, that one of the comments on that said, well, now it won't open up here. Here we go. One of the comments in the reaction said, Judge Ketanji Bippity-Boppity-Boo is the best thing that ever happened to Sotomayor. Now she's no longer the dumbest one in the history of Supreme Court justices. And Kagan, I think, is even dumber. But anyway, and Ketanji at the Supreme Court today, they got to get rid of this woman. She doesn't know what she was arguing the wrong thing. How is that And by the way, for the record, you do not have to be a lawyer to be on the Supreme Court. Anybody can be voted on the Supreme Court.
It may get so bad that her vote will only count 3/5.
Anybody can be Pope. They can elect anybody to be Pope.
I know.
You know, it's up to anyway. 5:53. Holy cow. Should we do this now? Because we don't want to run out of time.
Let's
really
do
good.
it now.
I mean, there are a lot of people looking forward to some fine entertainment here. Quite enjoy it.
They've come to the wrong place.
And now, another edition of Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Bad Text Theater Playhouse, where by golly, we try to bring just the teeniest ray of sunshine into the otherwise miserable lives of you, the little people. Today's episode, Juneau, the capital of Alaska? Sorry.
That's not
Shut up, sit down. The scene. See, Juneau, the capital of Alaska?
Heard
Sorry. The scene. 2 normal American guys sitting in a bar. One turns to the other and says,
"I heard on the TV that Argentina has a surprisingly cold climate."
You sure about that? I think it's pretty warm there.
Yes, I'm sure. They said it was bordering on Chile.
And scene. pouring a chili. Even the accent makes it even that much more special.
Are you sure about that?
The little accent éclat at the end there. So, are you sure about that? You're killing me, Smalls. Joey? Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
You ever been in a men's locker room?
Sterling movies about gladiators. Sterling edition.
Turkish prison.
Joey, you like movies about gladiators?
Not the Kimmers Rainy Day Bad Tex Theater Playhouse. Yes, no, really. Pete Davis, the YouTube, the applause meter broke them and went over 10 again. It's all the way up to 11. I mean, it's hard to believe.
This one goes to 11.
11. You see, if it's only a 10, then, then. In fact, I was just on the other. I DVR'd it about a week ago.
Has the second one come out yet?
No, I don't think
the
so.
The sequel.
Yeah, that's supposed to. That could be different.
Speaking of which, that Superman movie, talk about it, James Gunn director. He's a great director, but he politicized it in the interviews.
And they're bragging about it.
And pissed off half the country.
He's saying we need more wokeness, basically, in Disney or in Superman, and so now it's kind of
He's an immigrant.
You better like immigrants now or something.
Yeah, if you don't like immigrants, he said you're not American. Yeah, we love immigrants. We just don't like people who break into the country.
Yeah. We don't like 20 million who shouldn't be here. Come in and sign the book and then wait your turn and you're in.
And you're
We're
not
happy.
American if you don't go for that?
Scumbags. I mean, and again,
so stupid.
What's Disney doing? They just lost their entire
That's
princess
not Disney.
thing.
That's DC. That's someone else doing this. I don't think it's Disney.
Well, but you think they would have learned a lesson from what Disney just did?
Seriously, learn your lesson. Quit politicizing things.
That
And
new
if you do
princess
it,
thing.
don't say you did it.
Yeah. And don't brag about it.
Because I'm not going to the damn movie now. I'll wait till it's free on my TV, and then I'll watch
I'll
it.
guarantee you, if nobody had said, if people had not said anything about any kind of wokeness or the theme or anything, I just said, oh my God, it's a new Superman movie. Holy cow, with this guy Gunn, he knows what he's doing. They would have flocked to it and it would have set records for
And
the
this is their
opening weekend.
tentpole. If this screws up, the whole thing screws. And what kills me is Superman is a white guy, and he's thinking Hispanics are going to go in there and relate to this.
Yeah, I know. I don't get it. A quick celebrity thing. If you haven't seen the mugshot of Mary Lou Retton when they pulled her over for drunk driving. Oh, you poor thing. Oh, my God. And the story's even worse. She starts talking to the cop, and he says, I want you to, walk a straight line, and she's wobbling all over the place. He says, you ought to be pretty good at this. And she said, oh, come on, man. And then she said, I was distracted by your beautiful blue eyes. Yeah, she couldn't keep her head still. She bopped her head up and down. You're making. I see it now. I see it now. I see his finger. I see your finger. I'm looking at your beautiful blue eyes. She took a breathalyzer. I'm not drunk, and she was hammered. And look, her mugshot is just.
I did a backflip
horrible.
when I saw her mugshot.
Oh Lordy, poor
just to
thing.
get away from it.
I mean, it looks like she's doing a movie, and they're making her up to be a monster. I mean, poor thing. Anyway, I'm sorry. I know that's wrong. Anyway, and by the way, where chicks now are? I'll save this for tomorrow.
Where?
The new place to meet babes looking for men.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm putting that baby on. Now Flounder's funny.
We had garage sales growing up. We threw the garbage out on the driveway. We had some signs with an arrow, come get our garbage.
Birthday boy.
And people would mill around your yard, but you would watch them, right? They would get a little too close to the house. Like, hey, back up, back off, back up. What do you want? Can we use your bathroom? Bathroom, get the hell off the property. And whatever we didn't sell, we threw it out. But we broke it before we put it in the garbage. That's my Italian father. He's like, if they're not going to buy it at my sale, they're not going to come by later and steal it out of my garbage. Saw the couch in half. 12 years old, I'm sawing the couch. Pop the eyeballs out of the teddy bear and then decapitate the head. We throw the head out on Monday and then the body out on Friday.
Whoa, that's Maniscalco, 52 years old today. Happy birthday. Boys, Kevin P. Flounder, Lord Bryan, tomorrow is Hump Day. And we'll be here and hope you can join us too. In the meantime, maybe Tay-Tay along with Christine, Sing Me Home, Baby, I Gotta Go. You're killing me. Oh, Herb and a Herb, stand by.
The Morning Extra, every weekday morning from 6 to 10 on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra.
He says they won't